before he was about to go up, that slow change of speed, that slight change was just enough to throw the defender off. Here comes the screen. Burke with it. His guys holding a big lead.
Love them.
And count the basket inside.
You find now, wait.
Take a timeout as he'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter.
Can you see it now? It do that sometimes. I don't know why it does that. Come on, come on. Dunk.
Finish that. I agree. I thought there was a foul, but also it's all about your approach. You can't come down the lane and jump off one leg. It's called a power lift. Go up two legs and expect the contact. Jimmy Butler, he's 2 for 2 now. We talk so much about who are the MVP candidates, but there are other guys who are so valuable to their teams. And Jimmy Butler at the forefront of that list. I have a phrase that I use when I describe players like Jimmy Butler. It's called...
Come on. Come on to the ball.
Certain players that approach the game with a certain mindset every single day, and they will do anything possible to win the ball game. He plays with his heart and soul every single possession and every night, and he will leave on the court. That means he can run the ball.
You say what?
To marking it.
One of a million students who chosen tuition-free public.
Nope. That's not gonna happen.
Finishing inside the paint.
How many Batu he got?
It helps me get where I want.
8. Damn, 8 ball.
Athleticism and length. Your timing almost has to be perfect. Pretty much there's no stopping him when he's around the rim. Stuffs it down with authority. He was ready right at the tip. What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to...
Well, they game over.
Look how easy the game is coming.
On to the next one. On to game 2. It's gonna be the same result though on game 2 though, ain't it? Wait.
Hey, Jesse, for DraftKings betting, there's 100 million reasons to don't know. DraftKings is celebrating the return by teaching out up to 100 million. Including a guaranteed $1 million cash.
They coming back.
The DraftKings app is entering all free survivor pools to grab your share of $100 million. Everyone wins something, and one person is guaranteed.
Wait, they're coming back. Wait, they're coming back.
Side to side, you're bound to find opportunities for each other. There's a pass stolen by Chicago.
Which is why SOS High is rated to make license as human business. It's parallel for Super Shop Essential Blue.
Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it. That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key. Curling inside. Big finish.
But my dude said no.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't be alive, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish. Done. To Mobamba. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up. And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot was made, but and one. And he misses that one free throw.
Will you subpoena intelligence officials to appear in public? Any hearing before the election?
That is certainly one of the tools that we may use. I can't speak
And he's going to the line to shoot. I've seen it happen so many times. Small things like that foul can end up becoming a momentum changer. Let's see how this one plays out. Trey Burke, couple of free throws on the way. For his career, 79% at the line.
Because now this information, this intelligence,
And hits the first free throw.
doesn't belong to
How about he be a free agent?
intelligence agencies. It belongs to the American
Second
people.
one off the mark. He goes 1 for
John
2.
Ratcliffe, the director of national intelligence, is defending the decision to stop in-person election security briefing, and he's accusing members of Congress of leaking classified intel and distorting the threat Russia poses in the U.S.
I reiterated to Congress, look, I'm going to keep you fully and currently informed as required by the law. But I also said we're not going to do a repeat of what happened a month ago. When I did more than
Wait, what the fuck he do that right there?
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game of black.
He do watch me whip, watch me nay. What they
and
thinking?
yet within minutes of that, one of those briefings ended. A number of members of Congress.
Goodness, did you see that, Jay? That's nasty.
Boy,
Classified information. Again, the reward.
he tucked that ball. He said, you ain't ducking that. Get that out of here, that mine.
Into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Meanwhile, we should know that all the available intelligence does suggest
First free throw, it was good.
and a greater threat to national subjects than China is on U.S. elections. Well, the president on
Able to
Saturday
convert on both free
for the
throws.
decision to end in-person election security briefing. A video that played during the Republican convention is
You feel see the broadcast? Wait.
several of the New York public housing tenants who were featured in the RNC video criticizing Mayor Bill de Blasio and the New York Housing Authority now say that they were misled about their role in the video. Those people claim they had no idea that the video would be used as part of the GOP convention, and they're upset that the video made it appear that they support President Trump's re-election. And Santoro is
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of
But yeah,
when you play with unselfish players.
you can't psych up the meat.
A little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great. That's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the past. The past is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Featuring elected members of tenant boards at New York housing projects. The video was Donald Trump.
Whistle for the foul. Chance coming up at the free throw line. Love the fact that the shooter creating contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big time play.
A top member of the Trump team. Former Eric Trump aide and current HUD official Lynn Patton. for what
Anthony
they say
Simmons
is a
at the
deception.
line.
Lynn Patton.
Oops, he missed the first one. Good bounce back, hits his second. It's a 1-2 trip.
I have no comment for her because, again, I do feel that I'm owed an apology because this is
Block
the
shot.
impact
You
that
see,
it
Ed,
has
when it comes to
had on me
evaluating
personally.
first-round picks, we tend to talk a lot
At
about
this
their
point, I just
offensive
have no
capabilities.
conversation for her.
This
Oh, mind you, not to be
showing
fouled.
you that the defensive skill set should never be overlooked. Great block. Burke with it. Lead stands at 10.
Now, Patton
Turn around, lays it up in there.
all the people in the
Hey,
video
one of the things I hear all the great teams say in the huddle, they say 1, 2, 3,
He like the
no
soul
mercy.
vote.
Now it's time for you to go even harder on the defensive end. To Chris Dunn.
aired on Thursday night before it aired.
Goaltending's called. Count the basket.
They have the tape. Tell them to show it. Tell them to show them. We confirm that I said yes. I agree.
Gets
They
the
will
Heat
find
with
on
the
that
possession.
tape to see, no, my confirmation is based off of the edit. And if they didn't cut off the tape,
To
we would
Dragic.
then say, don't worry about it.
Here comes the screen.
So let me talk about the
Dragic.
bigger picture here. The people in that RNC video took a lot of heat in their community for appearing.
Chris Dunn.
We were up at the Washington Houser today. We heard stories about threatening phone calls that came in after this video appeared. You want to talk about this very much. Patton says that these people on this video were all in on it from the start. But the tenants say their words were
Shot
twisted.
clock expires. 24-second violation.
Yeah, excuse me.
And then clearly this has raised a lot of questions. I'm glad that you're staying on this story and breaking it down for us. Thank you so much, Evan McMorris Santoro. Well, it could be months before thousands of people
That's
have
what
power
Donald
restored
Trump
parts
do.
of Louisiana
They
after
twist the
Hurricane
walls
Laura.
around.
The state governor has a new concern about the consequences of the storm.
That's usually what he'll knock down. The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to do a great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Oils for fragrance day after day, up to 60 days.
To Chris Dunn.
Airwick scented oils. Connect to nature.
Had a good look there, but it's no good. Burke Leaders
My mouth to aim. Oh, hiding, huh? The new grilled buffalo chicken.
And they're fouled. He'll have a chance in a three-point play. People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs will help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
What are you talking about? What about Tuesday?
What you gonna get for lunch Tuesday?
I don't know.
You don't know.
No.
You know everything. But you don't know what you
Step back.
You gotta wait and see me.
I don't know why his teammates will never let that way down. Burke with it. The advantage is 13 points. Down low Randolph. The big fella, Zach Randolph. Small sample size, but
It's like a third of my house.
he's one.
I don't know how you can get any easier. Here's how ladder works. Answer a few quick questions and get your
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Check your price now at ladderlife.com.
Done. To Obama. And it's rejected. You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go. Gets it to go, and the foul. And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room. Free throw good to cap off the three-point play as they continue to open things up here in the third quarter. To Chris Dunn.
You can't answer every question you have right now.
Young.
What it takes to protect.
He sent that one to the third row. He was locked in. That was impressive. Dragic against Porter.
Safe, no contact.
To Waiters.
Schedule and safelight.com.
The try. Right to the basket.
Introducing
Dragic. 4 out of 7. Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got this out.
Even if their shares cost more. At $5 a slice, you can own 10 companies for $50 instead of paying thousands. All commission-free online. Schwab stock slices, an easy way to start investing.
Done shot that
ownership.
To Randolph.
Schwab.
Nothing going here on that drive. Randolph up against Porter. To Dragic.
What you were seeing an all too familiar story. I'm Fair Fighter in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And this
Shot on three. Waiters to Randolph. 24-second violation. Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor.
Call us at 1-800-400-5921 or go to mezzobrook.com.
Our experience and the size of our law firm makes a difference. Call us at 1-800-400-5921 or visit mezzobrook.com.
Runner here won't go down. Desperation shot here from half court. That ends the third quarter, and the Heat right now are feeling good.
That's all I have to watch in the feature.
So what?
Nasty John. You heard me.
You say NFT?
Yes. Gonna be on Tuesday.
On the trail inside the 2020 primaries Saturday at 9 on CNN.
On Sci-Fi, right?
No. On USA. Tuesday.
I thought you was on Sci-Fi.
I don't know when they're gonna move to Sci-Fi.
Go back. Put it back up.
Southwest area of the state have now scattered and warned residents not to lose sight of
Where's
crucial
Sci-Fi?
Hundreds
Show.
of thousands of customers also
244.
remain without power in parts of the state.
3 what?
And the governor
244.
also said it could take weeks or even
244.
months for it to be fully restored because many utility poles have
They
been
ain't on there
destroyed.
yet.
So let's
Go
talk
over.
more about some of those challenges
It's not on
ahead.
there
Go
yet.
over.
The CEO of LSU Healthcare Services Division and the lead
Go to September the 2nd.
disaster recovery efforts as the former Secretary of Louisiana Health Department.
Yeah, keep going to September the 2nd.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining us. Really appreciate your time. Let's pick up on what the governor's warning and that the aftermath of the hurricane could create testing issues for some of those hard-hit areas. How worrisome is that?
Well, it is worrisome, and let's remember this is the 15th anniversary of Katrina, and the state has prepared more than any state in the nation for future disasters, but this simply was the largest storm ever to hit landfall in Louisiana with the strongest winds in our history. And so there are incredible challenges despite the fact that we have bolstered our preparedness. The storm lashed winds all the way from South Cameron Parish, 200 miles up through Louisiana until it exited into Arkansas and lashed communities, cutting out power for 500,000 people nearly, and nearly 250,000 people without water. And so that makes it very challenging to implement testing strategies, and for the past week and a half, we have had to slow down testing just to prepare for the storm and make sure people are safe. And so we're flying blind. Louisiana has been in the top in the nation in testing, but for the last few weeks we've been flying blind in many areas simply because people cannot get to testing centers, nor can we staff them because of the weather events.
Wait a minute, it's going to be
And so
on
when do you
deck?
think you're going to be able to get things up and running?
Yeah, September the 2nd.
It's hard to say. We're still surveying the damage. There are at least 6,000 people in shelters, and congregate shelters, which are normally our go-to
I still
for
go
this
buy
type of
child
situation, are not the go-to for COVID because we can't put people together in large groups. And so
I know I wasn't faking now. I know what I saw.
to shelter evacuees. People are coming to
I'm going to buy a trip
New Orleans
on
to
Tuesday
escape
night.
They're
going to be showing that on Sci-Fi.
They're going to be a new one.
They're going to be a new one.
Yeah. September the 2nd, Wednesday.
We'll see. You just have to go back there and watch your show.
I will. Yeah.
That critical infrastructure is up and running before public health.
He connects with the step back. And I have so much admiration for guys that continue to hunt their shot. They're playing the second half like it was the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Those natural-born leaders are guys that will consistently lead your team to the promised land. Levine to Chris Dunn.
Extremely important for our students and teachers, and of course that's all going to be
Not going to have it this time. Blocking so many shots only gives you perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure. To Waiters. He throws it down. You know, it reminds me of a story of legendary coach Winston.
I don't know.
Probably break her face.
I mean, you don't know.
With the fist, what is that?
How I supposed to know he keep? I ain't.
Collectively together as one.
How I supposed to know?
That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight. No good and no foul. To Butler.
Me, I don't know what your body wants.
Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up. The defender was actually in a good position then. They even made a decent play on the ball, but sometimes those still stay aggressive out there. Free throws good. Add one more to the total. This game feels out of reach.
That relationship is very important, Dr. Rebecca B. Thank you so much. Our
Levine to Obama.
On the development there.
Gets to the basket and scores.
Thank you so much for watching.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
We support never
Butler into the front court. His guys holding a big lead.
I hope they ain't rain out there.
Easy pad to the rim. Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epic gimmick of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise. If that's an epidemic, sign me up.
You feel safe. As new challenges have arisen,
Miami's got it.
to bring that same safety and support to the place that you want to be most. Together.
Here comes the screen.
Blessing. Together in hospital. Together in hospital.
Can't slam it down. The Heat with the victory. And they're moving on to the second round of the NBA playoffs. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cole. This is the NBA playoffs on
He was down too. He was down too.
I'm one step closer to a championship, but today's still the journey is far from over.
Oh, my fucking way.
Where you going? I thought so you worked at home.
I'm working like this, but now I am.
You ain't fucking home.
So why I get in there?
You ain't getting shit.
You ain't getting shit.
But now it's about what is from the past. The reality of the offseason is now
You was not fucking home. You just said that because I said that. Fuck that shit. You ain't home.
the guys who put up the most points.
I'm not.
Hope is the light in all of
No.
us that cannot be
Yeah, why
extinguished.
come I in the kick?
To stir that
The
fire.
only reason you in this goddamn kitchen because you know I've been something.
No.
Fantastic team basketball
What's
today.
wrong with you?
I gonna lose to y'all home.
Separated
And I
these
took
two
my
squads.
Silver singles made it easy for me to get back into dating. Over 1 million singles cross over singles to get back into dating. Signing up is easy. Start your search today at silversingles.com.
Fuck you, huh?
The highlight says it all.
Wayne, I'm your mom.
T-Mobile is
You
America's
better fly, I can't come on.
Why you can't come out?
Why not?
Experience it now with our best deal ever. Unlimited, $25 a line, 4 lines.
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he missed the title of this segment. He
That's
definitely
like, you got this shit.
Tell me what that number.
Here we go.
Fuck out my way. I can't.
This was now a serial killer case.
What you trying to watch?
I'm trying to pick my game.
Your game.
Yeah.
Your game makes that shit too.
Fuck out my gig in there, I know.
I will when I poke you in your ass.
See y'all next time.
You don't move that damn.
What are you gonna get anyway?
What you like?
I feel like I've missed out since I don't have time to read and basketball.
Yeah. What you like?
I listened to her story
What
over
you
and
get?
over. I made the decision to go ahead and follow
Did I tell you why I get?
was to know for the better.
Go ahead, get your player.
Oh, my play right
Am
now.
I live right now?
Well, what you gonna get?
I was going to play in the microwave. You want to play? He ain't gonna use it.
True, it's so
How you
true.
know? Did you call?
Start your free 30-day trial.
No,
Just
but,
text
he-
14-500-500.
Get high for me up in the microwave. You don't want to go away, do you?
United Sheets America with W. Kamau Bell at a special time tonight at 9.
Closed
Yeah, I
captioning
know when
brought
I
to you by
beat it,
Arrow
like,
Works
you
Relief.
might bang
Prevent
fit.
and relieve muscle cramps.
Oh,
If you suffer from muscle cramps in your legs and feet,
I would
Arrow
do
Works
something.
Relief can help.
I
Get
would
Arrow
do
Works
something
Relief
to me,
today. Available in stores
what?
everywhere.
but you probably gonna
This is CNN breaking
do
news.
anything.
You're in the CNN newsroom. I'm Hannah Cabrera in New York. Our breaking news is that
Alright,
at
get
a
you a
time
plate.
when the nation is facing a
I see.
tinderbox moment, the president is tweeting, "Send in the National Guard." He was reacting to the events in Portland, Oregon, where a man was shot dead during a night of protest. And we have some new disturbing video. You'll see it freeze at the moment this person was killed.
I think they're going to do it too.
You want something to do too?
You said that. I think you said that.
No. I said I'm gonna get you
I can get you.
Go ahead, I'll finish one milk. That's stupid. But go ahead. Ain't that much do? Well, go ahead, get it. Take that taste out.
Hell no.
What you mean, hell no?
The shooting happened
Hell no.
also
I give you some of that wood milk.
racial justice activists.
Give me something to tell you side.
Trump supporters who rolled into town for a demonstration of their own.
Huh?
Michael what?
They give me one little bite of it. Hey.
Yeah, that's on your plate, dude.
Yeah, babe.
You bet one bite. Damn.
What
This
you mean
video
damn?
from New York Times reporter Mike Baker shows a man riding in the back of a pickup
One
truck
bite.
with a
That's all you
flag,
get. That one
firing a
bite.
paintball gun at protesters on the corner. A man in another truck also releases some sort of gas. And then some of the protesters respond by throwing objects back at them. Here's what Baker said about that moment.
Yeah, all yo.
As soon
Well, I
as
got
the both groups sort of got together, it was increasingly volatile throughout the night. I mean, we saw a video there of paintballs being fired from the back of pickup trucks and people in the crowd throwing things back. There were at times vehicles that were blocked and people getting out and fist fights happening in the streets. I mean, there was just growing tensions there, and also this was really kind of scattered throughout downtown with a lot of these vehicles driving down different streets, up and down different streets, and you had protesters sort of pursuing them in different parts of downtown. And so while police showed up a few times to sort of redirect traffic or to keep the groups apart, it really, was so dispersed throughout downtown that it really became something that they couldn't handle.
You got one of
now we expect to hear from the mayor of Portland, Ted Wheeler, about last night's event. We're standing by for a press conference in Portland, and we'll bring that to you here on CNN. The president, meantime, has been openly attacking the mayor on Twitter, saying in part, the mayor is a fool. Bring in the National Guard. CNN's Josh Campbell joins us now. He's following the latest developments in Portland. Josh, while we wait to hear from the mayor there, tell us what you've learned about these protests and what happened last night.
Yeah, Anna, this has been the site of so much violence for weeks now. The city of Portland, we've seen these images of protesters coming out, most of them peaceful. Some of those groups involved rioters as well who have been attacking a federal building, obviously clashing with law enforcement. We've been reporting on that. Overnight, however, this took a different turn where you now have an added layer. The hundreds of pro-Trump supporters coming in and clashing overnight with some of the counter-demonstrators. Now, what we learned yesterday afternoon is you had this large group that had amassed in a nearby suburb and then took a caravan basically into downtown, leaving a series of confrontations in the wake between protesters who were here, some of the violent protesters. As our colleague from the New York Times, Mike Baker, mentioned, you actually had Trump supporters shooting into the crowd paintball guns, and this kind of back and forth, projectiles being launched in a series of directions. Police telling us that it was a violent night. They made a number of arrests. And of course, as that was all happening, we also learned that there was one person shot and killed. Police say that they are investigating this as a homicide. Law enforcement officers heard the sound of gunshots, went to the scene, found the man who was shot and killed. Now, the New York Times is reporting that the deceased person had a hat from the Patriot Prayer Group. This is a far-right group here in Portland that has clashed in the past with demonstrators, that obviously taking on a new tone here for these protests, now turning deadly. Police say that continues to be under investigation. They don't have a suspect yet, but we're hearing from law enforcement sources who tell us that tonight they are very concerned if this indeed ends up, if this was a pro-Trump supporter or member of this far-right group who was killed. They're expecting and anticipating the likelihood that there will be people coming in perhaps seeking revenge. So just a very volatile situation here in the city of Portland. As you mentioned, the president early this morning weighing in on what was taking place rather than condemning the violence that was happening overnight. He appears to be actually fueling the fire, in his words on Twitter, saying that this was not unexpected, these clashes, based on some of the incidents that we've seen for weeks now here in Portland. He also, as you mentioned, took aim at the Portland mayor, who he has criticized for weeks, saying that the Democratic leadership here in the city hasn't done enough to quell the violence. The city's mayor has been telling us now for weeks that he wants the federal government to step back and stay out of it. He's been saying that a lot of the violence that we've seen has largely stemmed from that federal president. So this is this back and forth we continue to see. As you mentioned, we expect to hear from the mayor shortly. We are here at City Hall. We expect him to respond to last night's developments. Obviously, it's the criticism we're seeing from the president. That's something that he has not been shy about responding to in the past. We expect to hear more. But just, again, very chaotic situation here in the city of Portland. Doesn't seem any end in sight, especially with a suspected homicide overnight, and no indication that these protests will be ending anytime soon.
Dr. Flake has a video with this doctor witness the scene. At the moment, that person was shot. We don't know the identity yet of the victim, nor do we know if police have a suspect at this point. But how frequent do you think that video is going to be as a former law enforcement member yourself?
Yeah, you know, I talked to the Portland police last night, and they said that they're looking for any to help describe what actually took place. Obviously, but they want to get a sense of what was taking place.
What you talking about?
The protests here, that it's obviously
you talking about me too much?
For law enforcement to identify different subjects when you have a large group of people that are taken together clashing. But they're not only looking at digital media, they're also asking for witnesses that actually saw what happened to come forward and provide information. Thus far, the police are indicating that they have a suspect in custody. They say that
how about you not say your paper when the watch come out?
But what is so chaotic here on is that we're not just talking about
the
investigation. They also have to look at the larger threat to the city. Again, if this person ends up being a Trump supporter, law enforcement sources telling us that this tonight could be very, very dangerous if you then see a larger gathering of people coming trying to seek retribution. Something this city hasn't seen. They've seen the violence between some demonstrators and rioters and law enforcement, but now this added layer of pro-Trump supporters and some of these far-right groups coming in to essentially try to take justice into their own hands is what some law enforcement officials are telling us. Just a powder factor here in the city of Portland.
Okay, we will await the words from the mayor in his press briefing coming up along with local law enforcement officials. I'm seeing Josh Campbell in Portland, Oregon for us. Thank you. President Trump has been making his thoughts on the situation in Portland very clear in a series of tweets today. I want to go to CNN's Jeremy Duncan at the White House. Jeremy, tell us more about what is the president saying?
About what the president isn't saying. He isn't urging for calm. He isn't whether it is in the city of Portland or in the city of Kenosha, Wisconsin. What instead we are seeing from the president
me every mouse I see at Walmart.
Videos of clashes between supporters and Black Lives Matter protesters in the city of Portland. We are also seeing him, of course, try and amplify these divisions that are happening.
Now, your check comes, you find the mouth. I said, your check comes, you find the mouth. BCs and outfields and everything else.
Going on this parade through the city of Portland, in which you can actually see the president's supporters on the backs of these trucks shooting paintballs and shooting.
Remember the thing, you some of the money I need to get that game. I need to get that game on the floor.
An incompetent mayor admit that he has no idea what he is doing. He goes on to call the mayor of Portland a fool and calls once again for the National Guard to be deployed to that city. And that is the message that we are hearing from the president, is this amplification of quote-unquote calling the protesters thugs and really sometimes not making much of a violence in the city.
He said he mine. They cooking and fish. Yeah, they cooking. Anything to bring for your face. They cooking fish or bake or something.
We've got over 200 anarchists, and they're not peaceful protesters. These are people that every single night conduct violent acts. And it is in democratic cities. You know, you want to talk about Donald Trump's America. Most of Donald Trump's America is peaceful. It is a Democrat-led city in Portland that we're talking about this morning, who just yesterday denied help once again from the federal government. And so, listen, we need to get to the bottom of this. We need to make sure that we hold people accountable.
And so no question there that President Trump's strategy for these next several weeks is to seize on some of the violence in these cities as part of his campaign message as he tries to portray himself as the candidate of law and order. But of course the irony is that he's going after Joe Biden, suggesting that this is Joe Biden's America. Of course the president is the president of the United States now, and he is trying to fling these attacks back on his phone. Anna?
There we go, at the White House. Thank you. Portland is the second city where protests have turned out late this week. First, there was Kenosha, Wisconsin, where a 17-year-old Trump supporter is accused of shooting 3 people, killing 2 of them during protests over the previous shooting of Jacob Blake. President Trump will head to Kenosha Tuesday to survey some of the damage caused by the unrest that happened there. CNN is showing President is joining us now.
Talk about how the baby coming on soon.
And he says,
yeah, I got recorded. You can record it. I already got it started.
He says that this is
I already got it started to record.
He also says that he has not been informed of this visit officially and has not talked to the White House. It's very clear the president is obviously doing this on his own, not talking to some of the community leaders here about this visit. And one of the things, as you said, is that the White House is saying he's coming here to meet with law enforcement and to survey damage. And there is some damage. We've seen the fires, but it isn't as extensive as perhaps maybe the president would like people to believe. When you look behind me, the president will probably walk through this community here, but many of the yes, they boarded up a lot of the stores, they opened for business, but they also put medical areas all over this town to try and bring people together to express their support for the Black Lives Matter movement, for a lot of those protesters who have been protesting here peacefully. And look behind me, where a lot of people in the community want outcome. We want people to know that they are trying to come together. I should know that there's some context here around the president's visit to this town. Kenosha was the county that the president won in the last election. It was the first Republican in 44 years.
Yeah.
To win the county. He also won the state, which is the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I see it.
It's important when he came and he won this state by less than 23,000 votes. So that's something to consider as this visit approaches here on Tuesday. And we don't really know if he's going to return to visit the family of Mr. Blake or have any kind of communication with them.
I'm sure it goes on to about 5.
I know.
And I was curious if he was going to people at least reach out to the Blake family. We know
hell no, that nigga don't want to talk to Donald Trump. That black man.
What black man?
When he shot his son in the face 7 times. You don't want to talk to that clocker. He said it was too late.
We'll discuss right after this as we continue to wait for the mayor of Portland to speak. Plus, we're very much still in the throes of the deadly pandemic. There's just been a sobering development. Doctors in Nevada detecting the first possible case of reinfection. What this could mean for vaccine and immunity.
Oh yeah, it's a strong stone. I don't know what kind of stone it is, but it's strong.
Actually, it's everywhere, except for why is that? This is because people love filling out forms. Maybe they like checking with their supervisor to see how much vacation time they have. There's so many corporate there. I'll let you in with a secret. They don't. By empowering employees to manage their own tasks, they can use you to focus on the business of business. To learn more, visit
when it comes to connecting with someone for real, compatibility matters. That's why it is 14 minutes. Someone finds love on the internet. Download the app and start free today. Some small businesses don't have it. Their office is your culture, and their workplace is your home. So that's our business. So I've told the 20 years, you've been able to find a house. What's the best way
Seen it.
As you get older, are you worried about staying sharp for life? Well, raising the heart activities aspect of your great job about memory, learning, clarity, focus, and more. Special moments from children, the number one reason in the hiding spot.
Seen it.
What? Where
Yep, seen it.
I haven't seen what this.
It's alright. It's not all that. Seen it. Seen it too.
What else you see?
Animals are abused every day. They cannot spread. They endure indescribable acts of violence, but they're without a voice. Without a voice, they're frightened. They're alone, they're scared.
Seen it. Seen that too. Seen it. Don't knock it.
What? You see me?
Don't knock it.
What's wrong with it?
Sign up for just 60
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? The fight that they made doing the big Will Not I Can Film, they did the work I ever did see. They had, what you call it, the beef, he was talking. The beef don't talk. On the TV, on the cartoon, he didn't say nothing. Now they gonna make me talk? Come on, man.
He changed me that man.
Man, that movie what? I don't like it. It fall off. Your boo the beat, the Will Not I Can boo the beat. You seen it? Wait. Did you like it? It's not the best movie though. Wait. I seen that.
I want you to tell me this. Wait a minute. I'm not keep saying if this is the same show but gonna show on Tuesday on Wednesday, I'm moving.
Check and see.
What?
It's gonna be the same one from Tuesday night.
We're now just 65 days from the
Check.
election. Are looking to weaponize.
So let's go to the other channel, the one for Thursday.
The hard truth is, you won't be safe in Joe Biden's America.
You won't be safe in Joe Biden's America. We can have 4 more years of President Trump, or you can have no safety, no justice, and no peace.
Don't say do it.
Today on CNN, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Chairman Congressman Adam Schiff, accused the president of not only being
Might be the same one. It's good, ain't it?
I want to see John Moxley whoop that Lord's ass.
Oh, God might go win. I know God might go win.
And the president is only motivated by
That Lord say, huh? Hey, 17. Have you please define Chris?
What?
Fight me. Let's beat.
Oh, you know what that dude?
Yeah, let's beat.
Go Marco
Hey,
beat
17.
Go Marco beat the break on that nigga.
And John Moxley say, if your law don't show up, you don't get the match.
The Trump campaign's message is that no one is safe in Biden America.
You don't want that.
This is all happening now in Trump America. Why would Trump think this is something to highlight?
Well, it is indeed happening in Trump's America, and there are a lot of things you're seeing from this administration to stoke that tension, to increase the level of agitation in the cities and in the political process that we're seeing overall. It's a recapitulation of the 1968 strategy of Richard Nixon, which was to scare the hell out of the central, the middle part of the country by saying these dangerous people in the cities are coming to get you. They're playing that playbook very effectively for their audience right now. And it's the reason they're doing it, of course, is because of their complete failure to handle COVID. Their complete failure to prepare the economy for this pandemic. And the broad sense of corruption around Donald Trump has caused so much of America to have no faith in this administration. So it is certainly, the violence is playing to their political strategy, which tells you an awful lot about how low they will change up the game.
If a guy is
There's some awesome signs that the GOP is framing up the executive over his right eye, there's a block from NPR in the United States. The percentage of Americans who see the protests as mostly legitimate dipped from 62% in June to 53% in August. And the percentage who believe these are people who are mostly acting unlawfully rose from 28% to 38%. Should this worry Democrats?
Well, I think there are Democrats that are worried about it, but I would point out that just because there's a poll that states some people have lost some faith in the Black Lives Matter movement doesn't mean that that's going to affect their vote. So, are people going to be voting on Black Lives Matter? Are they going to be voting on COVID? Are they going to be voting on the economy? Are they going to be voting on health insurance? Those are other things to worry about. There was one poll where Trump managed to close the gap a little bit with Biden, though Biden's still up. He was more than comfortable among white suburban voters. And
he's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Argument, and even though it is somewhat nonsensical in that Trump is the president and he's the one who's stoking it, and Joe Biden has literally nothing to do with it.
President Trump and Fox News are really acting like the only big news story right now is this unrest in big cities. But as you pointed out, Rick, last time I checked, about 1,000 Americans a day are still dying from coronavirus. The number equal to nowhere else in the world. Is the unrest all Republican voters care about?
Oh, he missed
on Republican voters have certainly shown us in recent survey work that about 65% of them that defected from Trump, and that number is slow rising, have done so because they believe his handling of COVID has been so incompetent and so irresponsible and so dangerous. And I do think there's also a risk in this entire thing that it can quickly turn around and blow back the other way. We have armed caravans of Trump supporters in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be to stoke that kind of tension. He was praising the people that were there last night, and it didn't leave the violence. It led to one of Trump's supporters being killed, which is nice follow-up on the dumb there. Good luck keeping up with that. Did you see that jump? It was as quick as a pogo stick. Unfortunately, he sees a political advantage in increasing the tensions and increasing the racial tension that is inherent in saying these scary brown and black people are coming to your suburbs to kill you. That is a message that is fundamentally dangerous for any American president to take on because it really tells you something about the inner workings of his brain, his prejudices, and how politicized he's willing to make it.
So, Kirsten, given it is so clear that Trump's message between now and Election Day is going to be law and order, what does Joe Biden need to do to counter that?
Well, I mean, I think it would be reasonable for him to come out and condemn violence, but make clear that honestly, a lot of this violence, like the deadly violence involving people, as Rick just talked about, it does involve some Trump supporters. It involves a 17-year-old who showed up and killed 2 people and injured another person who showed shot them. So look at who is actually coming in and with guns and stoking violence. But at the same time, I think it would be reasonable for Biden to say, this isn't the way to create change. We don't need to have on the painted area every single night. But let's focus on the real problem.
He has come out and said that. In fact, let me just there's live violence
Jay,
that
this is
businesses
getting
and shutters
scary
businesses
fast.
that
If
serve
you're
the
the defense,
community.
you have to
But
deny him
that's
the
wrong.
ball.
That was
Maybe
a
throw a
focal point
box
this
and one.
week.
Maybe throw a zone. Maybe even throw
issue.
the kitchen sink
To
because he's
reiterate
putting
it,
on the
because
show
I
in the
don't
first
think just
quarter.
because you say
Porter,
something once,
tough
it doesn't
matchup against
necessarily
Butler.
permeate
So
and perhaps to go to, you know, to go to Kenosha, to be a little more present. I think that's one thing that you can do, and then to remind people that this is, you know, more Republicans want to distract you with this, you know, this over here, you know, there actually are
as a player, there's nothing better than coming out in the first quarter and playing exactly the same way you played the last couple of days of practice.
Rick, what do you think?
Moving the ball, capitalizing on mistakes, and you're really building a nice lead.
I do think there's a meritorious angle to Joe Biden saying this is a deliberate political distraction.
The advantage is 13 points.
We have 35% of Americans who can't pay their rent or mortgage last. We have a million people a week reporting unemployment. It's not going down. One small dip comes back to about a million a week. We are preparing for the fall COVID season, except for the White House who's pretending that COVID is over because they're having an unmasked event. So Biden pointing out the political nature of Trump's
You still see the broadcast, wait?
has some merit to it. And that also possible to let those suburban white voters that President Trump is desperate to capture to get back take a deep breath and wonder if they're being made fools of by a president who has done so in the past repeatedly by essentially lying to them about almost every major thing that's affecting their lives, and especially this pandemic we're in the middle of.
Rick Wilson and Kirsten Powers.
My favorite Miami.
Thank you for having me.
Reminder, Rick Wilson, Williams book, Winning Against the Devil, is out now. Coming up here in the newsroom, why some right
Wait. He my favorite Miami.
in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
That's exactly what you need. You need to see the ball going.
Age is just a number. And mine's unlisted.
Try Boost High Protein with 20 grams of protein for muscle health versus only
19-footer at the buzzer. That's the end of one. Game number 3.
Depending on what role they give him, though.
It's the NBA playoffs on
Reasonable amount of time on the couch.
Cause I think he'd go to bigger role, don't you, wait?
Redbox's gonna reward you for that with a $5 off perk.
What role you think, superstar or assault? Superstar, assault, or franchise player? About to go eat? What you eating? Homemade Parker? Say what?
Came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to.
Powerful tool to help navigate diabetes better on a daily basis.
I love
Here
it.
comes the screen.
I just wear a little sensor, and that's it. It's
Oh, he's denied. Oh, big man doing work right there. With the basketball. Oh, Jay.
You might go to the team. You might go to the team. I'm not for sure.
Dexcom for fluid control.
Let's say what team want him.
Too young.
Introducing Schwab Intelligent Income, a simple, modern way to pay yourself from your portfolio. Tell us how much you have and how many minutes left. We'll estimate how much you could spend, and you can decide how to spend it. Schwab manages the complexity with automated tax-smart withdrawals that you can start, stop, or adjust at any time with no penalties, and you pay no advisory fee. Schwab Intelligent Income. Schwab, a modern approach to wealth management. It's here.
Chicago with 4 to shoot. He's marking it. Blocked away. Shot clock violation.
Got them on their eye.
Coaches making changes on the floor.
And so alone, choosing the only communities where ambition never rests.
That's an Asian identity. Iranian.
How do you preserve your culture in a country full of misconceptions about who you are?
It's not a country of extremist people. Because they want to maintain their culture. At the same time, they want to be seen as assimilated as part of this culture.
We don't have to be in a tech box.
since the beginning, and that's been part of everything.
And all new United States of America with W come out at a special time.
Mama with the rebound. Young.
So how is she creating this masterpiece?
The drive, right to the basket. Right down the lane with the shot will go.
Oh shit, pulling out.
To Waiters. From long range. Off the iron. No good.
Why we got back out the door and fake away?
To Zach Levine. Here comes the screen.
Where's your old face?
I got to give a fuck why I got to go and fake away.
Need to hear more chatter on the defensive end. I don't know what halftime evaluation will be worse.
I didn't
The
do it.
ankles or the bruised ego.
Because I can't.
It's done with the rebound.
Since 1999,
How do you gonna say that?
Brown has provided reliable low prices, easy to use website, huge selection of parts, and
You knew I was saying why you asked a dumb question.
Check our king.
As we reach the break through game number 3.
Dumb man.
98 Live Studios in Orlando.
closed captioning brought to you by
They
Mesobook.com.
take a dumb I can know a dumb man.
Free book on mesothelioma. Call for the free book and receive so much more. Call 1-800-831-3700.
Keep me up, dumb man.
As global coronavirus cases surpassed 25 million, there is a sobering development out of Nevada that may mean you are not safe from reinfection. It all centers around the case of a 25-year-old man who was first diagnosed in April with the virus. By the end of the month, he recovered. He tested negative twice, but by the end of May, his symptoms resurfaced, and he ended up in the hospital and on oxygen support. This would serve as the first documented case of COVID-19 reinfection in the United States. Dr. Saju Matthew is joining us now. Dr. Matthew, there are now 2 documented cases of possible reinfection, the one we just mentioned, and there's also one in Hong Kong. What does this mean? Could it impact vaccine development?
Got themselves in a bad situation.
Yeah, it's definitely worrisome. What we know so far is that if you're exposed to COVID-19 and you recover, if you get reinfected again, you should have antibodies, immunity, right? That's what we're counting on. The first case in Hong Kong was more reassuring. The second time that he got sick, he only got tested because he was coming back to Hong Kong. He tested positive but had no symptoms. So that's reassuring. That goes along with what we think is happening. With the young gentleman in Nevada, the second time he actually got really sick and needing oxygen therapy. But let's also remember, Anna, that this is an isolated case. We don't really know his past medical history in terms of whether he has any other comorbid conditions, smoking, maybe vaping. We don't know. But we need to pay close attention to it. And as you asked me, this could have implications for a vaccine development because you want a stable virus to develop a stable vaccine.
There's a reason
The CDC also has changed testing recently, and I want to ask you about this because now they're suggesting only symptomatic and those with high exposure should be tested. It appears to undermine tracking and tracing abilities. It goes directly against the guidelines from the World Health Organization. Doctor, is there any data that has come forth now, especially given so many experts like yourself have come out against this change? Has the CDC provided any data to back up the change?
Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Not at all, Anna. I'm actually really concerned and very upset on the way that it was rolled out. It was just basically on their website, and you have to kind of decipher exactly what that meant. Listen, this virus has not changed. We know exactly how it acts. 40 to 50% of people with COVID-19 are asymptomatic, Anna. They are the drivers of this infection. This comes at a time when we're trying to open schools and thousands of kids are falling sick. We need to test more, especially given the fact that a good 50% are asymptomatic.
Going back to the vaccine, we don't know when it's going to happen. Everybody's, holding their breath, hoping it happens sooner rather than later, but it has to all happen the right way so that it can be safe, so it can be effective. But there is this new interview with the Financial Times in which the FDA Commissioner, Dr. Stephen Hahn, says that they could implement emergency use authorization of the vaccine before phase 3 trials are completed. Do you think it's safe to do that?
I'm telling you right now, he lied.
I think that would be unsafe. That would be an inappropriate use of the Emergency Use Authorization Act. Anna, phase 3 is the most important phase. We need at least 30,000 people. We need people of all ages, especially older people. This is the time, this is the crunch time when we find out if this vaccine is safe. And guess what? We also need a minority representation. We're having difficulty recruiting minorities, African Americans and Latinos, who are also very suspects of the government kind of pushing this vaccine down your throat. So this emergency authorization should not be used until we complete phase 3 and we make sure that it's not only safe, but the vaccine also works.
Quick answer, if you will. It was just a week ago, Dr. Khan announced the EUA for convalescent plasma treatment for coronavirus. He has since apologized for mischaracterizing the data and tried to clarify, but guess what? The line doesn't science back up that treatment.
So, the convalescent plasma is a treatment for taking antibodies from people who have recovered from COVID-19 and infusing them in patients who are sick. The problem is we don't have case-controlled randomized studies to really prove its safety. Until we do that, we can't really say that this is a treatment that works at this point.
Okay, Dr. C.J. Matthew, thank you so much for providing your expertise. Good to see you.
Thank you, Anna.
Coming up, the NBA returns after a multi-day protest. Hear why LeBron James says he's more confident than ever about the message they're sending. Plus, NBA great Isaiah Thomas joins us live. He is a Hall of Fame player and a top head coach of the basketball organization. He's going to give us his take on this historic week from about every side you can imagine.
When I was younger, my hair made me feel really beautiful. When my hair started to thin, I
No doubt about where that one is headed.
After giving birth to my first daughter, it was really coming out pretty dramatically. I was feeling pretty hopeless, and then I decided to do something happen.
I went to my hairdresser and he told me about Viviscal. Once I started taking Viviscal, my hair is full, it's rich again. I love the way it feels, it's wonderful.
Reclaim the hair that makes you fully you. Viviscal is the clinically proven #1 selling hair growth supplement that has worked for millions of women of every age and hair type.
I was really surprised by the results. My hair's never grown this fast before, so I was thrilled.
I felt a really big sense of relief when my hair was coming back. I was like, okay, I'm going to look like myself.
The secret is amino, a proprietary collagen complex that nourishes hair follicles and promotes the growth and thickness of existing hair. In as little as 3 months, Viviscal is proven to decrease shedding by 39% and increase the number of hairs by 32%. Guaranteed or your money back.
For my patients with hair loss, Viviscal is drug-free. It's a supplement that's easy to take, and it works.
Viviscal has made me embrace, appreciate, and love my natural hair.
Just incredible time on the It's the heat
More hair is Order now and get a full 3-month supply of Viviscal, and you'll only pay $39.99 to get started, and shipping is free. Plus, you'll get a complete, nourishing, healthy hair kit, including a full-size leave-in elixir, which 9 out of 10 women said their hair appeared thicker and fuller in just 1 week. All this and $80 value free. If you don't absolutely love your results, just send back what you don't use and keep all these gifts just for trying Viviscal. You can find Viviscal at retailers everywhere, but this special TV offer is only available by calling the number on your screen or going to tryviviscal.com.
Some companies still have HR stuck between employees and their data, entering data, changing data, more and more sensitive personal data. And it doesn't just drag HR down, it drags the entire business down. Efficiency, errors, and waste. It's ridiculous. With Paycom, employees enter and manage their own data in a single, easy-to-use software. Visit paycom.com and schedule your demo today.
When it comes to buying a home, they say cash is king. But you're a queen. And that's just a start. You're already a verified approval from Lucky. Sellers know your offer is good, so your bid has the strength to compete with cash offers.
Nice pass to set things up. And you always feel like the words vision and unselfishness go together. They work cohesively as a unit. When you have a guy that has growth, that sets the tone for how your team is going to play.
This is Steve.
Trying to cash in.
He's
Zach Reed. He is struggling just a little bit. 2 for 5. Don't see the read. Be the read. He'd have the basketball. Target.
It's a better mouthwash than Walmart, Target, and other home stores.
Offensive board. Yes. And the
Except for
foul.
Scoopy
And a chance at
Then we
three.
tried the little robot, and now we
He should
have
get
to
some
scoop
kind of
it again.
acting
It's
award.
self-cleaning,
That's
and
a
unlike
great
others
sell
that we've
by
tried,
the
it
offensive
actually
player.
works.
But guess what?
All we do is empty the drawer and add fresh litter. That's how easy it is.
It really helps to reduce odor, and you wouldn't even know we had a cat. We love it.
Oscar loves it.
All I did was order online, litterrobot.com.
Thanks, Litter Robot.
Thanks, Litter Robot.
We support memorable moments, concentration in hectic times,
Free throws
focus
as they
in the day.
continue to widen their
Unlike
lead.
ordinary memory supplements, Reva's clinically proven ingredients fuel 5 indicators of brain performance. Take the Reva Challenge with our money-back guarantee.
Welcome back. NBA players returned to the court last night following their multi-day protest prompted by the shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now here's how LeBron James described what happened over the past few days.
Solidarity, we still with our brothers from Milwaukee.
I know there's that old saying that
I know
says
what's going on with their situation that's going on there all the time. So we still with them as a league. And then we try to, well not try, we put together a plan. And
knocks it down from mid-range. Closing out or contesting his shot is a really bad idea because now the offense knows they can extend you away from the basket, and that's away from your original position as being a help defender.
With us now, two-time NBA champion and NBA Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas is also an analyst for NBA TV and NBA on TNT. Isaiah, great to have you here. We've heard from some players that they believe they may have more leverage, more influence by resuming play that keeps them in the spotlight. Do you
Too
agree?
many easy buckets.
Isaiah Thomas.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I still don't know who I read.
You know, where we are right now in our world, particularly with the pandemic, where everything is kind of closed or slowly reopening, the platform that the players have across all of gives them the opportunity to speak to these issues, bring light to these issues, and what the athletes have always done historically is speak for the voiceless in our community. So the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, the stance that they've taken in terms of unifying and speaking for the voiceless across all communities has been great.
You led teams as a star player, the head coach from inside the front office. What role do you see team managers or owners or league management having in this moment?
Because the leagues can, as they come together, they can continue to bring attention to what's happening in society, to the athletes who are part of their teams. And part of their teams, you have people from all different races, creeds, and backgrounds internationally also. So using the microphone, using the megaphone that the NBA, the leagues, and the owners have, that's one thing in terms of protest. So what Rick Wade, Senior Vice Chairman of U.S. Chamber, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Malcolm Brogdon of the Indiana Pacers, and myself have done is we're putting together a team to take protests, to take it from protest to policy. And what I believe what needs to happen and what can happen when you talk about putting together a plan, the protest has to turn into real policy. And not only does it have to turn into real policy, but it's got to be sustainable. And I think all of us coming together will be able to do that. So I'm very happy to work with Kareem, Malcolm Brogdon, again, of the Indiana Pacers, who coincidentally has a master's degree from Virginia in policy as a current player. So the voices will be heard and continue to be supported.
Right now, part of this agreement to resume play between the league and the players' union was to work to convert arenas into voting locations. We've now learned the Los Angeles Lakers have partnered with arena owners to make the Staples Center a voting center. How important is the voting aspect?
That can make them feel better right now.
Voting is key to our democracy, and that's what makes our democracy work. And in sports right now, when we talk about the political arena, and now we're talking about the sports arena, these two coming together to ensure that our citizens in the country have a fair and equal opportunity to vote, cast their votes, and their votes be counted. So the more polling stations and the more volunteers that we can get
to turn out the vote. I think it's it's what makes democracy work, and I think everyone is happy about it.
This protest started in the NBA but quickly spread to other sports, from baseball to soccer to tennis. You know, previously, some athletes who took a stand paid a price when thinking of Colin Kaepernick. Does that risk still exist today?
Well, Colin Kaepernick paid a big price, but we have to go further back into our history. When you talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, formerly Lou Alcindor boycotting the '68 Olympics. When you talk about Bill Russell, what he was doing in Boston. You look at Muhammad Ali. The athlete has always, particularly in his playing career, while he was a champion and had the mic, he was always charged, he and she was always charged speaking for the voiceless in these communities that we all
I think my dude would be a Finch out there.
Poor and oppressed communities.
As good as he is on defense and offense,
systemically worked against to oppress different races and different colors. And
they can't get naked probably did do. He's good
defense. In terms of making sure that the athlete now who has the mic can bring light and voice to these communities.
Isaiah, it's good to have your perspective. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you again for having me.
Just a quick programming note, tune in tonight for a special back-to-back all-new episodes of United Shades of America. It all gets started at 9 o'clock right here on CNN. We'll be right back.
FanDuel's new Best Ball Leagues make it easy to play season-long fantasy. Draft once and FanDuel will optimize your lineup each week. But to make it even easier,
what's up, Jeff?
We hired head coach Jeff Fisher to help Tony on game days.
I've studied the matchups, I've adjusted for bye weeks and injuries, and I'm making paella.
But I'm allergic to shellfish.
You know I can't make it without shrimp.
Thank you, Jeff. Doing a great job.
You know I can't make me got flip.
There's no easy way to play season-long fantasy. Leagues start at $1, and new users get a 20% bonus on their first deposit.
Food delivery just got more rewarding. Now the Grubhub gives you rewards when you order. Did you order tacos? Again? Boom! Rewarded. To the perk like $5 off. Ordering dinner for the family? Why? Rewarded with free delivery and a side of quiet. Grubhub gives you rewards for rewarding yourself with food.
Buy the Baxter bag for your next cleanup. Fill it with up to 3,300 pounds of household debris. Schedule collection from Waste Management and we'll pick it up whenever you're ready. The Baxter bag. Buy, fill, gone.
Today, your information is more exposed than ever. When you shop, bank, or browse online, you're vulnerable to cyber criminals. More threats demand more protection. That's why Moten and LifeLock are now one, combining device security, VPN for online privacy, and LifeLock identity theft protection, backed by $1 million protection package. Get all-in-one protection on Moten.com.
Is now a good time for a flare-up?
Enough, Crohn's.
For adults with moderate to severe Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, Stelara can provide relief and is the only approved medication to reduce inflammation on and below the surface of the intestine in UC.
You getting on that flight? Back off, UC.
Stelara may increase the risk of infection, some serious, and cancer. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, new skin growth, and heart cancer. Wear community vaccine. RPLS, a rare potentially fatal brain condition, may be possible. Some serious allergic reactions and lung inflammation can occur.
Lasting remission can start with Stelara. If you've been financially impacted by COVID-19, Janssen may be able to help.
T-Mobile makes great at work. Now, T-Mobile has thousands more locations across the country, more towers, and more coverage than ever before. T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network, with more 5G coverage than Verizon and AT&T combined. Experience it now with our best deal ever. Unlimited for $25 a line for 4 lines, with 5G access included. It's time to join T-Mobile.
A vacation paradise.
Carolina takes a beat to one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Turns hunting ground for a killer.
This was now a serial killer case.
They all knew how it really happened with Hill Harvey.
you better figure like routine my life. Never really like like 10 o'clock at night. It's me. Oh, I guess I don't start. He's having a break out, putting the two and two together, what you put in your body when you get out. I know that if I need to walk food, I'm not going to do it. So that kind of lets me know myself. Immediately, the issues are away. His love energy starting working out, eating full food is amazing.
See the benefits of fresh food at betterforthem.com.
Walk the truth to our feeling so darn awesome. I take care of this kid. Not this kid. That kid. And when you got in hospital, you should be
Pennant Intimate Pads lock the skin and are now 100%
last
breathable
night's game.
compared to Intimate Skin.
You said
Intimate 24 to 5226 for your food sampler. Time to skin to protect my planet.
Max, I told you who that was going to be.
I'm Kim Wall in Los Angeles, and this is CNN.
Yes, I was right.
They're getting new videos and eyewitness accounts from the night protests turned deadly in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The 17-year-old suspected gunman was walking the street of Kenosha, clutching a long rifle when chaos ensued. And now, some conservatives are trying to justify his behavior. CNN's Drew Griffin reports.
It was chaos, protesters, heavily armed vigilantes. Kenosha, Wisconsin on fire, and in the midst of it all, an out-of-state 17-year-old illegally possessing a loaded AR-15 style rifle being chased. Police call it a double homicide. Conservative commentators are calling it self-defense, and the 17-year-old shooter a hero.
Well, I've been very vocal about my support for this young man, as have many others who are sick and tired of the anarchy that has gripped our country over the last 75, 80 days.
Michelle Malkin and others have led a social media groundswell of support for accused gunman Kyle Rittenhouse. It has now led to a pop-up non-profit defense fund asking for donations, and one of the most prominent conservative attorneys coordinating Rittenhouse's defense. Sorry to keep you all waiting. Attorney Lynn Wood, tweeting from his Twitter account with a QAnon conspiracy theory hashtag on his profile, speaks thanks to all freedom-loving Americans who responded to requests for contact information on Kyle Rittenhouse. Help is on the way. The 17-year-old vigilante is accused of murdering 2 protesters and wounding a 3rd. Attorney John Pierce, part of the Rittenhouse defense team, tells NBC News, this was classic self-defense, and we are going to prove it. A criminal complaint filed against Rittenhouse details a confusing series of events that indicates the 2 men Rittenhouse shot and killed in separate incidents may have been trying to grab his gun. The first victim, 36-year-old Joseph Rosenbaum, shot in a car lot. In the complaint, a witness says a first round was fired into the ground, and Rosenbaum made a motion that he was trying to grab the barrel of the gun. Shots are fired, and Rosenbaum is hit. As Rosenbaum lay dying, Rittenhouse makes a phone call saying, I just killed somebody. Rittenhouse runs away as people chase him. He falls and fires 2 shots from the second shooting victim, 26-year-old Anthony Huber, hits him with a skateboard while appearing to reach for Rittenhouse's gun. Huber is shot and killed. New video to CNN then shows moments after Rittenhouse shoots and injures a 3rd protester, who, according to police, appears to be holding a handgun.
I basically saw him start to run and heard the shots.
The witness to how the incidents began is Richie McInnes, a journalist with the right-wing Daily Caller, who appeared on Fox News and supported the conservative belief that the 17-year-old illegally carrying a semi-automatic rifle was actually there to keep the peace in a town police left out of control.
There's a big mob, people have guns, shots are going off. Where were the cops? Definitely they're there, but they're obviously not responding in any quick fashion. So the 17-year-old who I interviewed earlier in the night, he actually mentioned that he was there to maintain the peace in the absence of police.
Video footage throughout the night show police were everywhere around Kenosha and responded to the shooting within minutes, only to ignore the actual shooter, who walked right past responding police with his hands up and the now alleged murder weapon slung across his chest. Drew Griffin, CNN, Atlanta.
Coming up, the mayor of Portland, Oregon, set to hold a press conference any moment now after a night of unrest and a deadly shooting in that city. President saying he wants to send in the National Guard. Stay right there.
You cannot be taking no shit.
Just leave it on the set.
You've changed. For good. And whenever they
No, 17-year-old boy went to Oregon and killed 2 people. And that black man said it's 2 different justice in the world. One for black and one for white. Alright then. Now get your ass back there.
HomeAdvisor has been helping people get every kind of home projects done for over 20 years. Perfect for when you need to repair leaky faucets, have the yard work done, or fix a broken window. Or 2 broken windows. As long as things leave clean, HomeAdvisor is here to fix them. Take a project, get paired with the best local pros, schedule it, and pay. Online or with the app.
At Cancer Treatment Centers in America, treating cancer isn't just what we do, it's all we do. And now we're able to treat more patients because we're in network with even more major insurance plans. So if you've been turned down before, call us now.
Apps are just everywhere except for wireless. This is because people love filling out forms. Maybe they like checking with their supervisor to see how much vacation time they have. Or sending corporate their expense reports. I'll let you in on a little secret. They don't. By empowering employees to manage their own tasks, Paycom frees you to focus on the business of business. To learn more, visit paycom.com.
We've got your back, road warrior. Because we know you want to get back to going your speed. Dear life, attendant you, you're prepared for this. And so are we. Soon, you'll get back to skipping the count without missing a beat. Back to choosing any car in the aisle. Back to being the boss of you. Go national. Go like a pro.
Things are different, Lucy, but we're figuring it out. We're doing school online now, learning a lot. Finding cool stuff to watch. Dad brought some new workout lessons. And I still get to spend time with you.
Imagine the courage to challenge an entire infrastructure of oppression. And also luck to have him walk with us and show us the way.
Johnny Lewis in trouble. September 27th at night. What will you do when the power goes out? Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life. But with a Generac home standby generator, your life goes on uninterrupted because you'll have power when you need it the most.
24 days for a while. I had water, ice, I had coffee, I had air conditioning. I was able to stay here because of the Generac.
Get the same security and peace of mind your family deserves with a home standby generator from Generac. 8 out of 10 home generators are Generac with thousands of satisfied customers.
Very good product. Very, very good.
Prices start at just $19.99, and special financing is available with surprisingly affordable monthly payments. Call now to schedule your free in-home assessment, and you'll receive a 7-year extended warranty absolutely free. That's a $695 value. Call or go online today. Power your life with Generac.
United States of America with WCRM at a special time tonight.
Closed captioning brought to you by TheraWorks Relief. Prevent and relieve muscle cramps.
If you suffer from muscle cramps in your legs and feet, TheraWorks Relief can help. Get TheraWorks Relief today. Available in stores everywhere.
This is CNN Breaking News.
You're in the CNN Newsroom. Thanks for being with me. I'm Anna Cabrera in New York. Bring in the National Guard. That is the president's response after one person was shot and killed in downtown Portland during protests last night. And we have new disturbing video. You will see it freeze at the moment he was killed. This shooting happened on a night that included violent clashes between racial justice activists and a group of Trump supporters who rolled into town for their own demonstration. For more than 90 consecutive nights now, protesters in Portland have taken to the streets, calling for an end to police brutality after the killing of George Floyd. And during that time, the president has sought to downplay the racial reckoning, portraying himself as the only thing standing between order and chaos, while casting Portland's mayor as a fool. In just the last few minutes, Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden unequivocally condemning the violence, saying in a statement, quote, "The deadly violence we saw overnight in Portland is unacceptable. Shooting in the streets of a great American city is unacceptable. I condemn this violence unequivocally. I condemn violence of every kind by anyone, whether on the left or the right. And I challenge Donald Trump to do the same. It does not matter if you find the political views of your opponent abhorrent. Any loss of life is a tragedy. Today, there was another family grieving in America, and Joe and I offer our deepest condolences. We must not become a country at war with ourselves, a country that accepts the killing of fellow Americans who do not agree with you, a country that vows vengeance toward one another. We are now just 65 days away from an election amidst a pandemic and this racial reckoning. And in this tinderbox moment, the president plans to visit Kenosha, Wisconsin on Tuesday, where protests are ramping up after Jacob Blake was shot by police 1 week ago. Let's begin in Portland, Oregon, with CNN's Josh Campbell, who is following developments from these protests. Josh, we're standing by for a press conference with the mayor of Portland any moment now. Give us the latest.
Yeah, we expect to see the mayor here very, very shortly. It's just a matter of minutes, and we expect him to respond to a few things. First of all, violence here in the city of Portland. And the city that has seen violence for weeks now during the daytime. Calling for racial justice, calling for the end to police brutality, but at night
I know why you went back there.
Downtown federal building, obviously the national and international attention. However, last night there was an added layer into this already chaotic situation when
you think so? You split? You ain't split.
Trump had a mask in the nearby suburbs and caravans into downtown.
The only reason you go back there in my bathroom
protesters and some of the
to do number one or number two.
Now we're also told that one person was shot and killed during an encounter. Details of that shooting are still sketchy at this point. Police continue to investigate. However, reporting that the deceased victim had a hat. He was wearing a hat that was the insignia of a far-right group. But again, police say we continue to investigate that. We've been talking to law enforcement sources who tell us that they are preparing for more violence tonight. They're very concerned, especially that it turns out that this person was a pro-Trump supporter and was killed. But law enforcement is concerned that that would lead to so we're going to hear city officials addressing that. We also know that tonight President Trump the mayor here who he's been ridiculed for quite some time. However, rather than condemning the violence, the president was saying that the violence has been that we all overnight was unexpected. So we expect to hear the mayor.
You don't kick you in your balls and make you
I'm pretty fat now.
Been a lot that's to address here again.
Sit your ass down.
Of a city right now continues to face
your ass so big, look, I'm gonna go with it.
That led to a night of violence here in the city.
You know know your ass is big as
stand by, and again, we are looking at where we expect the mayor as well as top police officials there in Portland, Oregon to take the podium.
Let me call you. Why I know?
Like they're gearing up to address the media. Right now, it's still following for them.
Your patience, your incredible patience. We totally
well, you're not having that way, wait.
Sure that we have ASL interpreter here alongside of us. And
you said what? Wait.
It's been a little bit overdue, but today we're going to be hearing from Mayor Ted Wheeler and then Portland Police Bureau Chief Chuck Lavelle, and he will be followed by...
Your ass so fat and look like your damn ass on your face.
Well, you know what they call you? They call you wide nose. Now how big your ass is? A wide nose.
This afternoon, my heart...
You just dead because I got loud.
My heart goes out to
Cushy to push. Know what that means, what?
The man who was killed last night on the streets.
I had a fine honey.
Yes, y'all know.
I'm going to support the police chief and the district attorney in apprehending and holding accountable those who are responsible for the homicide last night. I stand here with the police chief and the district attorney to again denounce the violence. The tragedy of last night cannot be repeated. All of us must take a stance against violence. And it doesn't matter who you are or what your politics are. We have to all stop the violence. For those of you saying on Twitter this morning that you plan to come to Portland to seek retribution, I'm calling on you to stay away. You, of course, have a constitutional right to be here, but we're asking you to stay away and work with us to help us de-escalate this situation. And Portlanders, I'm asking all of us to do our part too. One death is one death too many. Join me in denouncing all violence. Let's pull together in the name of peace and humanity. We don't always have to agree, but we've long done so without violence. That's part of what makes this nation strong. Let's end this long, hard summer and come together and work to support and lift each other, not tear each other apart. I'm going to continue to work with the community on the historic changes that we've already made and have committed to making as we reimagine what public safety and racial justice can look like in our community. And we'll continue to do that work in the weeks and the months ahead. There's so much work to do, and I'll be intentionally engaging the public as we proceed along these, proceed to engage in that hard work together. Yesterday's events began with hundreds of cars filled with supporters of the president, rallying in Clackamas County and then driving through downtown Portland. They were supported and energized by the president himself. President Trump, for 4 years, we've had to live with you and your racist attacks on black people. We learned early about your sexist attitudes towards women. We've had to endure clips of you mocking a disabled man. We've had to listen to your anti-democratic attacks on journalists. We've read your tweets slamming private citizens to the point of receiving threats. And we've listened to your attacks on...
Mind you, might go to figure out for the 76ers, because he reflected on beat.
We've heard you say that John McCain wasn't with your right because he was a prisoner of war. And now you're attacking Democratic mayors and the pure...
I think my dude and B girl know good together.
...democracy that have served this nation well since its founding. Do you seriously wonder, Mr. President, why this is the first time in decades that America has seen this level of violence?
LB and being family girl know good, my dude.
It's you who have not found a way to say the names of black people killed by police officers, even as people in law enforcement have. And it's you who claim
then again, my fat Miami.
Are good people.
And you've heard about one and done. This is a real one and done. one-game series. Winner goes on, loser goes home. You got to put it all out there on the line here tonight. Rises for the slam. So far, so good. Didn't take long to get this crowd on their feet.
And now, you want me to stop the violence.
Undervalued things in sports. The 13th man, the fans, if they get you going in the game, they can help you sustain that energy.
So that we can come back together as one America while recognizing
it's still
that we must demand that
Nah, he might not.
brown, white,
So you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
every political persuasion.
So he do hear the Hacker State go and beat.
Racism and violence.
You say what?
We together are peaceful again under new leadership that reflects who we really
Second one
are.
goes, it's a 1-2.
They might have to, if I go there, they might have to fade MB because he can center.
You bring no peace. You bring no respect to our democracy.
Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
Cause he the center there, so they might have to fade MB for me. So I don't want to do that. But like I said, we gotta wait and see.
As we share. I'm also calling out every other elected official in Oregon to join not only defeating racism, but also
We gotta wait and see how these games go. We gotta wait and see what for giga they get my dudes though.
today, we need to decide
Cause he'll fall Perry to make it.
It's called most valuable mentality. There are certain players that approach the game with a certain mindset every single day, and they will do anything possible to win the ball game. He plays with his heart and soul every single possession and every night, and he will leave it on the court if that means he can win the ball game.
I was born and raised here.
Here comes the
I
screen.
found my living here. I raised my family here. This is where I want to be. And I know the
Move him, be damn.
community. We want to protest powerfully
Beyond the arc for
and
three.
peacefully.
Holding me. Don't put holding me for the MB. Hey.
And we believe that it's the responsibility of our leaders to ensure that the systems that we have
To
in
Tobias
place
Harris.
protect and serve do so equitably. Let's engage with each other in thoughtful dialogue
Shot from
about
in close,
reform
no
and
good.
use the
He
power
missed that shot
of
on
our
his own.
shared
The defense didn't do
values
anything
to
on that play to
move
make him miss.
together. We must recommit our energy and our resources to advancing the work of reform and the transformation of our system.
Nothing going here on that
We
drive.
see the positive power of collective and focused
Jimmy
and
Butler, 2
nonviolent
for
action.
2. That's what
We
you want.
see the
When the
change.
ball's in his hands,
Our
we all knew what
responsibility
was going to
to
happen.
each other is to keep
It's in the
moving
hands of
forward.
Philadelphia.
Portland is counting on its leaders, the city, the county, the
to
state,
Tobias
our
Harris.
federal partners, to partner and use the collective power of our offices
Joel
to
Embiid
create
knocks it down
a better
from
future
mid-range.
for all of us. Thank you.
Dragic into the front court. Up 6.
All right, next we'll have Portland Police Bureau Chief Chuck Lavelle.
Joel Embiid swats it. That's a momentum play right there. Richardson to Tobias Harris.
Last night, Portland witnessed another homicide, this time in downtown Portland. There are many who are sharing information on social media or jumping to conclusions that are not based in fact. A human being lost their life last year.
If you're coaching against this player, you have to throw some big
Everyone
traps,
refrain
some
from
big schemes.
conjecture
How are
and
you
allow
making
us
this
to
player
gather the evidence
think
and
instead of
statements
just
needed
naturally
to hold the
react?
person who did this responsible for this heinous act.
Simmons to Tobias
We
Harris.
ask that anyone with information or video
Right
or
time,
eyewitness
right
accounts,
player.
please come
Can't
forward
teach
and
height.
share that
Butler
information
into the
with our
front court.
investigators
His
so
team
we
on
can
top
quickly
by
resolve
8.
this case.
And finishes strong.
Prior to the shooting, there was
They
a
have
political
set the tone in
rally
this one.
involving a
I
vehicle
love when I see
caravan that
offenses
traveled
come out
through
in
Portland for
beast
several
mode.
hours.
You attack that paint, you
There
get
were
to the
some
rim.
skirmishes between rally-goers and counter-demonstrators, and
Open up
police
for you
made
to knock
several
down some
arrests.
threes.
The caravan
Richardson
covered miles
to
of area,
Embiid.
and officers responded to different locations
Out there
and
looking like the
identified
Kimbe
patterns of
Mutombo.
range and
Took it
provided
right to
presence
him,
and
and the
even made
defender was
arrests when
ready.
warranted. The vehicle caravan had
To
already
Butler.
cleared the area where the
Screen
shooting
coming.
occurred near Southwest 3rd and Albany. This is an active investigation, and our detectives are
For 2.
gathering information
Jimmy
to
Butler,
determine what
3 for
happened
3. That's
and
a
what led up to
perfect
this
start.
death. In order to
The program
protect
has
the
really
integrity
come
of
down
this
to
case,
P&Rs.
we
Let's see how
cannot
the defense adjusts.
release any specific
Sixers
details
have
at
the
this time.
basketball.
Our Constitution permits freedom of speech and assembly. Individuals are free to disagree.
Great looking vision.
But criminal activity, especially violence, without a bounds.
Through the contact. And going to the line.
This event is already gaining extreme media attention.
So many
And
times
I will
we
once
get on
again
the
point out
defender
this
for
is
quote
not the only
unquote
right
letting
loss
the
to gun
offensive player
violence.
score on the and one.
On
Sometimes there's a
Thursday, a
lucky bounce,
16-year-old
but more often
African-American
than not,
teenager
it's
was
the
gunned down
offensive
in
player.
3 others were injured. Our investigators are still seeking information in that case as well. Some may not even be aware it happened as it hardly generated any headlines. We witness an increasing more and more uncivilized activity.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your
No
body.
more lives are lost.
Simmons,
Portland
2
desperately
MB.
needs calm. We're living in
He
extremely
was
divided
wide
era.
open.
It's
It's not
time
going
for
to
us
be
to
pretty when
start
they watch the
focusing on what we
video.
have in
Someone's
common
getting chewed out.
and not what divides us. What drives
Butler
us.
bring it up. His team leads it by 10. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up. You would bail out of something at the last second. That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Thank you, Mayor Wheeler and Chief Lavelle.
Free throw up and good.
As the mayor said, my heart is also heavy today. Anytime a human being loses their life, it's a huge tragedy, and my condolences go out to the family.
Simmons to Richardson.
Martin
Nice
Luther King
pass to
said
set
we must
things up.
learn to live together as brothers
Off a
and
spin.
perish together as fools.
That's lunch pail business right
Those
there. Don't
words
worry about
are
the
as
no
true
call.
today
Keep
as they
powering
were
through.
when Dr.
Bryant
King
with
spoke
it.
then,
It's an
56 years
11-point
ago
game.
in St. Louis.
Count the basket at the rim.
I know today a lot of my neighbors
Well,
in
they have
Baltimore
such
County
great flow to
are
their
fearful.
offense this evening. The ball isn't
And they're
sticking to
hurting.
one player
I
individually.
understand
It's
that.
moving around the perimeter, and it's
We're
zipping. They're
stunned
playing with a
and
special
saddened,
cohesiveness.
angry and
Embiid.
frustrated that
Can't
this
connect from
happened
in
in our
close.
community.
This game is all about
That
these
the
small
right
victories, though.
or the
The
duty
execution on that
to
play
peacefully
was on
protest
point. You keep
and speak out
executing
for
like
an
that,
end
those
to
shots are going in
systemic
eventually.
racism that has plagued our country for generations
Simmons with it.
could be
Trailing by
undermined
15.
by this terrible act of
2
violence.
Embiid.
But my message today
Set
to
it
my
all
neighbors
up.
is we can never allow hatred or
Strong finish.
racism
That's
or
what you need,
division
regardless of contact,
and violence
focusing
to
on
win.
the rim.
When we allow that,
Butler into the front court.
democracy loses.
Go run the
When we
offense.
allow violence and division to triumph, hope dies.
Fires the 3.
The violence that is occurring in our city
Misfires.
needs
It's no
to
good.
stop.
Here's
Far
Simmons
too
with it
many
up top.
people have been
His
injured,
guys currently down by
and now
13.
somebody's died.
Blocked away. Don't stare
Our
down
community is
like
being
that afterwards.
terrorized by people coming into Portland for
Embiid
the explicit
to
purpose
Richardson.
of committing violence. And that is
Missed
not
it. They
acceptable.
weren't going to get that to him.
We're seeing too much tragedy across our
Looking
city.
to make something happen.
As Chief Lavelle said, on Thursday, a teenager
Count
died
the bucket
in a
for 2.
shooting in
Showing
Northeast
you
Portland.
why he belongs here in this
When a
league.
neighbor
The
did
best
what
of the
neighbors do,
best.
she tried to
Efficient scoring
reply
out
to
the rookie here tonight.
but was unsuccessful. We have too much
Simmons
violence
into the
going
front
on in our
court.
community.
Down by 15.
Hate, division, hopelessness, too many guns in the wrong hands is fueling this round of violence.
To Tobias
And it will
Harris.
take all of us together to stop the bleeding in our community and in our country.
With the fadeaway.
My office is working
Curls
closely
him
with the
for
police
the
bureau
basket.
and the mayor to
Old
investigate
school
last night's
equals
shooting.
high percentage.
As you have heard mentioned earlier in this press conference, we need cooperation
He
with the public.
connects.
It is
Sometimes
vital
you just
that
have
we
to
find
go out there
answers.
and make a tough
I'm
play.
thankful for the officers and the detectives working with Chief Lavelle to investigate these crimes, the attorneys from my office that were out all night working with them to help us find answers and do and
to
put
send
together a
him
proper
back. But for a guy
investigation.
who's a good mid-range shooter,
I know
that's
and
wrong.
expect that the
His
cases of
pace
violent
dribble is
acts
his
will be
left hand.
investigated and
Force
then
him to go
submitted
right
to my
and know
office
that
for
the
review.
chances are higher of him trying
We
to
do not
drive
prosecute
and
individuals
attack
based
the
on
rim. That's
ideologies
knowing
or
this guy.
affiliations with political or non-political organizations. We will initiate a criminal case following a review
And it's
of all of
Simmons
the
with the
evidence,
rebound.
and whenever legally and ethically appropriate,
Philadelphia
pursuant to
with the
state
basketball.
constitutional law.
Simmons to Embiid.
We support freedom of speech. We support
He sent that
nonviolent
one to the third
protests.
row.
We
He
support
was locked
speaking out to
in. That
improve
was
our
impressive.
communities. We support standing up for each other.
Green coming.
What we do not
Dragic to
support
Butler.
is violence. We're at a pivotal time right now.
Curling
We cannot
inside.
afford to allow the
Jimmy
cause
Butler
for social
can't ask for much
justice
more.
to
He's
end
perfect.
the
5
systemic
for 5
racism
from the
to
field.
be overshadowed by the
It
continued
looks like he's
violence.
using his ball him to feel the game. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there, trying to get the fans going. That is true.
We're
He's also
strong.
finding his rhythm.
We reject violence when it occurs. My office is ready to hold offenders accountable.
Wait, it's over?
And together, in Dr. King's words, let's choose to live together as brothers and sisters and not perish together as fools.
Yeah.
Shooting 50%. Some yes, some no in this contest.
How you know they won't come back?
We're going to now open up the floor for questions, and again, identify which outlet you're with, your name, and then your question and who it's directed at, or maybe another who it's directed at, and then your question. And let's begin.
By 14. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down. It's in the hands of Philadelphia. To Embiid. Plenty of contact. The shot no good. Take stock of the floor. A bad pass. That's
So last night we had information that a vehicle caravan was going to come up to Portland from Hopkins County.
Let's really build this
Early on, we didn't have a vehicle number. And then once the caravan started,
is what
we
concerns me the most.
how
Effort
many
is
were in that
replenishment.
caravan.
If you're tired,
We
raise
tried
your
to
hand,
take
check
precautionary
yourself
measures
out. Get
during the
somebody
night to
who
keep
actually
them out
wants
of
to
the
get back in
area.
transition and play some defense. That will help your team win the game. Not you just staying in the game to be better on offense.
Were able to come into the downtown court. We didn't have any specific information of a gathering where folks would be outside of vehicles. So most of our information previously surrounded the vehicle caravan that was coming up from Hopkins.
Down a bundle. Joel Embiid. He connects. Had all the time in the world. Too easy. I mean, this is
I
something
don't have
everybody
much
can
to say
relate to in
beyond
their
that,
lives. This
except
happened to
that
me
of
while
course we were
doing
monitoring
broadcasts
the
as well.
situation on
Sometimes you're
social
physically
media,
there,
and we
but
chose not
mentally
to
you're nowhere to be
publicize
found.
anything
We
that would
obviously saw
help
one of those same things happen.
situation.
Finishing inside the paint on that one. Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points. It's halftime here in Game 1. Let's get you to Orlando, where we say hello to
Thank you for the question. Yes, so obviously I've stood at this podium on a number of occasions, and I've expressed what my greatest fear would be. And I've said my greatest fear is somebody will die. And now somebody has. And we as a community are mourning, and I am, as the mayor, am accountable to the public and will continue to be accountable. So here's the specific steps that we're taking. Number one, I, along with my colleagues on the city council, committed to a number of fundamental reforms, having listened to and understood what nonviolent demonstrators were asking for in the city of Portland. I put forward a 19-point plan that was very specific in terms of actions that we could take, including reducing certain programs within the police bureau that were seen as biased by many people in the black community in particular. We made commitments to reinvest in the community to a significant degree. We made decisions to engage the public more directly around oversight and accountability. And my colleagues and I referred a significant charter reform to the ballot, which will be on the November ballot, and people have an opportunity to cast a vote. I encourage people to vote for that. We committed to working alongside our colleagues like Lou Frederick, Senator Lou Frederick, and State Representative Janelle Bynum on fundamental reforms to criminal justice. And many of those reforms have now been passed in the legislative session. We've agreed to continue to work with others in the community at the community level to listen, to hear, to understand, and pass fundamental reforms. I'm now engaging with our Citizen Review Commission, as well as the Portland Committee on Community Engaged Policing, around reimagining what local policing can look like, what precinct policing can look like. And there are many other opportunities for us to work with the community directly. And as we proceed with this, I'm going to continue to ask the community to work with me. I'm going to continue to ask our colleagues at Portland County to work with me. I'm going to continue to ask the governor, our state legislature, to work with me. And so this is a long road ahead of us, but we know that the dead end is violence. That is a dead end street. We don't want to be in that cul-de-sac. We need to focus our energy, focus our passion, focus our attention on the hard work of playing out the form. And it starts with the reasonable justice, but then we have a lot of work to do around education, around housing access, around health access, around shared economic prosperity opportunities. We have so much work left to do, and I don't want the public to be sidetracked by engaging in violence. That is never the right answer. And so I'm asking the public to work with us, to continue to do the work that we've already engaged in on historical goals, and let's work together moving forward. Yes.
Stolen by the Sixers.
Hey, Josh.
To Simmons. Now preparing to shoot at the
because of the weeks of violence we've seen. So what's your response to that? As the President of the United States and somebody who's been perpetrating divisive and hateful language for 4 years, for him to now stand here and say that it's unexpected and act as though he's shocked is appalling. We all saw this coming. And as I said, I've stood at this podium I don't know how many times and have said that we must denounce the violence, that we must work together, that we must accurately address what's going on around systematic injustices in our community. Hold ourselves accountable for what's happening here in Portland. But the President has a role to play in this as well, in acknowledging and understanding those systematic injustices nationally. And the tweets that he's been putting out in the last 48 hours, attacking Democratic mayors, attacking those who are trying to bring resolution to violence in their local communities. He has an opportunity to uplift us and bring us together and help us move through this difficult situation in our nation's history. And instead, he chooses to play politics and divide us. That's my reaction. So I'm going to do the work that I need to do in my local community with my local officials to take accountability for what's happening on our streets. And I'd appreciate that either the President support us or he stay the hell out of the way.
The violence, he's not surprised that there would be this other group coming. What's your response to that?
Surprised. He encouraged them to come into our community. And previously,
gets to the basket and scores.
Or at least has
this type of game needs to be celebrated.
And
this is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the past.
This community
past is
needs
one
to
of the most
reset,
brilliant
and
things we have
America
in this
needs
game.
to reset. And it's going to take his leadership in the White House, and it's going to take my leadership here in City Hall to get it done. And so let's end the violence. Let's commit to that. Is that something we can all agree on? That we are done with the violence. And now let's do the hard work of acknowledging, of hearing,
Hey, one of the things I hear all the great teams say in the huddle, they say 1, 2, 3, no mercy. Now it's time for you to go and get harder on the defensive end.
Which the President initially seemed to be ignoring.
He's been a one-man show, but Jay, they're still down in this one. He's their lone bright star, their only star tonight. Some other of the supporting cast members really need to step up. Yes, and a foul. They'll have a chance in the three-point play. The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
In the Portland City are committed to it. I'd like to hear the President of the United States say he's all in. Let's bring this great nation back together.
I think he's not trying and not going to say that shit.
What? Say what?
What he just said?
Philadelphia with the basketball. Simmons to Embiid. Kelly Olynyk snatching it out of the air. Whoa, 5 now. You see, Ed, when it comes to evaluating first-round picks, we tend to talk a lot about their offensive capabilities. But this young man is showing you that the defensive skill set should never be overlooked. Great block. Simmons to Embiid.
We were very successful back on August 17th.
Short jumper off the mark.
Of keeping party separated who had made it very clear on social media that they intended to get into it with each other. And what we did was we built a coalition, both of law enforcement, local, state, and federal law enforcement, to come together to keep the parties
but sometimes you just need to sit back, get a tub of popcorn, and just enjoy the show, because that's what you're watching right now.
Community unified. Several days prior, we had 120 different community organizations that don't always agree on the same, they don't all have the same politics, they don't all have the same representation, but we came together on that day and we said, we as a city do not stand for violence, we do not tolerate violence. And that's the kind of coalition that we're missing right now. We don't have elected officials on the same page denouncing violence. We don't have community organizations coming together collectively in that kind of way, with that kind of single-minded determination and focus to denounce violence and talk about the vision for the future. But specifically operational, I'll defer to the chief, except to say that we are in conversations with our Portland Police Bureau, our county sheriff's office, the governor, and her team about the strategy going forward to do the best we can to, number one, create space for people to be able to demonstrate peacefully, like those outside the room right now. And on the other hand, make it crystal clear, we do not tolerate violence, we do not tolerate criminal destruction.
You see what my dude's doing, Waylon?
That's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that's created over the past. That's one of the brilliant things about
in those two circumstances, but we are in communication now. It is my belief that between PPD, the local sheriff's office, and the state police, we have been successful throughout this in terms of operations, and we're combined and we're collaborating, and I'm told by law enforcement professionals that that is sufficient, but I'll defer to the chief.
Brunson, 2MB.
Send me a picture of it.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket. As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
Specifically operationally can prevent this. And keep in mind, it's no secret to anybody that I personally am not a Trump supporter, but I will defend to the death the right of a Trump supporter to stand outside my apartment and non-violently demonstrate in support of those candidates. That's core to American democracy, right? To demonstrate freedom without the fear of retribution. So when people say they want to come into the city, they serve and supporting their presidential candidate who cannot tell them their constitutional rights to be free, embrace and support. The violence, however, is the problem. And so what I'm asking people right now, knowing what happened last night, is if you're thinking you're going to come back into our city from somewhere else to seek retribution, I'm telling you to stay away. Work with us. Help us de-escalate the situation. One death is too many. We don't want other people to die. So that's what I'm asking people from outside of you, I'm asking all of us as Portlanders to do, is do our part too. Let's not take the bait. Let's not engage. And if you see people doing things that look violent or destructive, say something. Do something. Don't just be passive. Because ultimately, when we see examples of violence, that undermines our democracy. This democracy is dependent upon us having differences of opinion and being able to vet differences of opinion and being able to have uncomfortable conversations without resorting to violence. So I've asked the president to do this part. I will do my part too. We both have an important role to play. We will both be held accountable. I Bridget.
The Heat grab the board.
Not been playing, what about it?
Most of this activity was doing, covering several miles on the highways. So we did have officers and vehicles, we had our traffic division, we had folks stationed at different areas.
But it's very difficult when you have small groups of people spread throughout the city too, who sometimes engage in violence acts with each other. You only have limited resources,
tell me why.
So you can't be everywhere
Ain't
at the same
nothing
time. The prior Saturday, we had, I think, about 30 officers working. So, I mean, our resources were strained. We had an event the night before that required
I know that,
control resources. We had to staff for an event Saturday night.
Because, no, when you say tell me why, no, when you tell me why.
Bring together resources for the Saturday afternoon portion. And it's just not always operationally feasible to insert that small number of officers.
Look, I think, when you think about tell me why, you think about tell me why, ain't nothing but a bad thing. Tell me why. Well, I can play the whole song right now. I want it down. Tell me why. You say what? What are you talking about? You don't care about no damn Donald Trump. So what you saying, Larry?
Incredible. 6 tonight. Blocking so many shots only gives you
position and things of that nature.
That much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
I haven't talked to my incident command folks yet.
So they don't know.
To try to resource properly for tonight. I'm not sure what we have in the way of intelligence, but it's very possible that what happened last night could play back to what happens tonight. So we want to make sure we reach out to everyone we can.
Takes it right to the rim. A lot of contact there, but they say no foul. Shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade the block in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic.
I don't know why you happy, MB. You knew it.
Berkeley looking to make something happen.
I don't think I'd be able to classify kind of the nature of that particular interaction. To me, it could have just been a skirmish between two small groups, or a problem that elected between individuals.
You know what? That's even better. I like the foul. Send a message. Nothing easy. He's going to have to earn it.
Wait. Look at this game and tell me what you think about this game. You like the Broadcast? You see it? Why you say no comment? Come on, give me a comment. That's one comment.
2MB. Only blocked it. I'll tell you what you don't see. It's rare that you see young players dig their stakes into the ground and say, this is my territory. He's owning the paint.
Yeah, tell him, give me a comment.
With authority, Jay, that's been the story this evening. I mean, another one? Another dunk? Another easy possession? How demoralizing can this be for the team? Why am I the only one yelling? I don't see anybody on the bench yelling. I don't see anybody on the court even angry right now. Gets it to walk. Someone really missed their rotation. You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that
you got that goddamn shot, huh?
The more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim, the harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line. recipients. And when they caught the ball,
how do you say that?
Simmons with it. Down and bundle.
So what?
Goes to the left side. Joel Embiid. Wide open look. Won't go.
What's she shaking? I know can see in a minute.
The execution on that play was on point. You keep executing like that, those shots are going in eventually. And a nice finish at the rim. You know, it reminds me of the story of Legend.
Union officers and several random places, so you can't be everywhere at once. The issue with firearms is very troubling to us, but people do have a constitutional right to carry firearms legally. So it's hard to prevent. I mean, some of the instances that take place, you're talking split second, a couple seconds. So a lot of times we're not right there to see things happen. I think the best we can do is message to people that we want a safe city. We ask them not to come downtown or to these other places with firearms, not engage in violent acts of crime. And I think, where we can, we have our resources stationed and we take action when we can. We've made several hundred arrests throughout these protests. So we've been out there 90+ nights straight doing our best to keep the city safe and to keep these interactions.
If you're in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You probably break a finger. If you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing today. Open look, and he
hold on, check the feet.
has to wake up. Embiid is such an outlier. There's nothing normal about him, nor does he want anything to be normal about him, which is even scarier with a guy with that kind of talent.
Oh, Dakawado, my movie. What is that?
That's why Dad said, what is that?
Dakawado, it's about that dude where they got all them guns, man. He gotta fight all these gangs, man. Dakawado, that's my movie, man. No, I said Dakawado, wait. You seen Dakawado, right? Think about that dude, he from Mexico. I mean, he from Mexico. And no, he from Mexico.
Sixers control.
And he and this man, I forget that man's name. That man is trying to kill him. No, I'm trying to kill that woman. Or something. He goes some kind of way. But at the end, he get hit for it. And they take it to him. And this one dude got the guitar with the gun inside of it. That's a good movie, boy. I know that movie.
Free throws good. Add one more to the total. This game feels out of reach. Not loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way.
That was fighting. Oh, but he took it. He took it for being fibbing. Nah, I think what LB he took it for. He took it for LB, right? LB thought, hell no. Give me that motherfucking ball back. No, I know what he did. My dude took it. My dude fight the ball from him, right? And LB got oh, hell no. Get that motherfucking ball back. That's what he did. He took the ball in the 9th quarter. It was down to the 9 minutes. He fight the ball for MB, and he said, oh, hell no. Get that motherfucking ball back. That's my motherfucking ball. Yeah, MB said that. Look. My dude took the ball for LB, right? He fight the ball for LB. He throw it. If he throw it, he was like, hell no. Give me that motherfucking ball back. That's my motherfucking ball. I need that shot. Oh, Ben Simmons?
And even last year, a number of those coalition groups spoke
No,
against
he didn't fight for Ben Simmons, but he fight for MB. But he did. Wait.
It's okay to have differences of opinion.
I got to look at the replay on that.
That what is okay and where we should have no difference of opinion is when it comes.
But I think it was Ben Simmons. I think it was MB though. The MB was like, hell no, get that motherfucker ball back. It had to be MB.
Because we denounce violence, and we know that it's not the right way to solve our political differences. And so I will continue to reach out to whoever will work with me to denounce violence and bring this to a peaceful conclusion. I will reach out to whoever will work with me.
LB got mad, boy.
As we move forward on reimagining that policing can be so it's equitable for everybody.
LB got mad. He thought, hell no. Get that motherfucking ball back.
Maybe they work with the chief.
LB said, no. That's not gonna happen. I'm making this shot.
That's what we're doing. Spoke to a number of leaders.
LB, man.
They talked about the importance of not only their engagement, but the importance of their leadership as we move forward. Because ultimately, the community will listen.
LB said, hell no.
At a time when we're having this national reckoning around racial justice and equity and police reform. And so we'll continue to work to build the coalition.
Hey, wait. LB said, hell no. That would make my day. That made my day right there. You heard me, wait?
Mr. President,
that made my day.
Like that, if you're watching this, is in any way helpful.
Cause that was fighting. You didn't see it, you didn't see it.
I certainly reached out.
He would have seen you been happy too. You been happy. I ain't saw with that one. The LB got fake man when I took the ball from him. He said, hell no. LB got fake mad with my dude. He said, no, that my ball, mine. You that motherfucker ball. They were fighting too. They were fighting over the ball, man. Fighting over the ball. I wish you would have seen that right there. But my dude said, hell no. This is my motherfucking ball. You knew.
Commissioner-elect Ryan joins us. It's just everything can happen. I've had a number of conversations with Dan. I have no plans to transfer the police bureau at this point. When we know what the constitution of the council is in January, everything's on the table. I ask myself that question every day. I go to bed with that question foremost in my mind, and when I wake up in the morning, that's the first question I ask myself. Am I doing everything that I possibly can to end the violence in this community? Am I doing everything I possibly can to hear and understand different perspectives about what people want our community to be, how they want to envision it going forward? Am I doing everything that I can to meaningfully engage the community as we go through this kind of crisis together? What do you think about this? It's very challenging.
One is now a series away from reaching a milestone that rookies have seen before. Can the one more happen? Who knows? I think we can all agree, win or lose.
I ask myself, what more do I need to do in each and every moment? And sometimes, honestly, I find myself coming up short. And when I come up short, I acknowledge it, I admit it, and then I move on.
You nailed what a ripper. Sometimes I impress myself. The team made it happen. Hard for me to be so dependent on other people. I know I always tell you focus on what you can control.
It's hard for me to stand here today.
Therefore, this one is one of those times your team has really got to fight. Yeah, it's not to have the win being on my shoulders for now. Yeah, but let me clear. I'm not the one who does the heavy lifting.
So I can't make that statement today, and I think we'll be to do so. But I'm certainly being introspective.
Oh man, why you gotta be so supportive? Can't you just spit of song, call it a thing? Not everyone knows what that night. Alright, I will. You win the conference final.
Any other questions for either Chuck Lavelle or
oh man. Oh man. First on working up on your emotion game, cause you about to see some Mikey. I'll be it when I see it.
That policy very specifically allows my office to work with PDB to focus on violent crime. And that's what we're doing. I got all of our resources towards that. I had a deputy out all last night at the crime scene with detectives working this case.
Too bad, kid.
Gun violence, homicide,
you want to see my emotion game? You gotta be in your...
prioritizing the resources of the district attorney's office to continue
Stephanie. That Hebrew of my game, get ready. Talk to you later. Alright, I get a hope to see those emotions after we win the conference final out.
You know, like many people, I wake up most mornings and I get the update from the police. I look at media coverage, I go on to Twitter like everybody else, see clips, and of course I've seen things that I think do not look appropriate. But the question you're asking really requires us to gather evidence and do more than just see a video clip online. There's a process for that. Independent police review takes reports. I recommend any member of the community that has those types of allegations to reach out to IPR. The Bureau has the internal affairs division. They look at those things. We work with both of those organizations once we have enough evidence together to see whether or not the law is broken. And where the law is broken, we are going to apply the law equally just like we would to anybody else. But I got to say, we work together with our partners. We have to make cases. That's interviewing witnesses, video clips, getting all information that we possibly can. And that is underway in certain circumstances right now, both with IPR and Internal Affairs Division. So we continue to partner with them. And when we have prosecutable cases, we will take those.
What? What's a 97? You say what? No, they're not 97, they're 89.
First of all, there are people who are on social media.
You're almost on 90.
To Portland and seek retribution. First of all, I would say we don't know if they're seeking retribution for. The investigation is still underway, and even our police chief doesn't have enough facts to be able to suggest that retribution for what at this point. Number two, we are meeting later this afternoon local, regional, and state law enforcement, and we will discuss a strategy because we're aware of the fact that this could be a potential flashpoint. And so that's why I'm asking people, if you're from out of town and you're reading something on social media, please understand if you're reading any facts on social media, they're probably wrong. Because we don't have all the facts yet. That's why the investigative unit is out on the street right now. That's why they're talking to witnesses. That's why they're working with local businesses to gain access to any film footage they may have about what happened last night, and they are still assembling the facts. So this is not the time to get hot-headed because you read something on Twitter that some guy made up on his mother's basement. That's not the right time or the right place. So let's wait, let's get the facts, and then let's collectively work together to address the violence that we're facing. I don't think anybody from any political persuasion wants to see anybody else die. I don't, you don't. Let's all work together and make sure that doesn't happen. Thank you.
Okay, that's it we're out of time, folks. I appreciate everybody being patient up front. Thank Mayor Wheeler, Chief Lavelle, and District Attorney Schmidt. If you have any other questions in the mayor's office, you can just put them forward to me. You know how to get all this. Thank you all.
You've been listening into a press conference in Portland, Oregon. The mayor of Portland attacking President Trump after a night of violence that's been deadly in Portland, where protesters clashed with counter-protesters who were Trump supporters who came through and believe a Trump supporter is the person who ended up dead. Not a lot in the investigation as far as that update that we just heard there. I want to bring in Josh Campbell right now, who was there at the press conference, who's been following the developments in this story. Josh, this has just escalated yet again. The war of words between the mayor of Portland responding to the president and the president in real time responding back to the mayor.
What about midnight?
You know, it's just fascinating in this era where, you know, here we are 3.5 years into the administration. Basically live tweeting things that he sees on cable news to include this press conference that we just heard from the mayor. And this followed the president criticizing the mayor coming out in full force. You can see here behind me just leaving this press conference telling the president that your campaign is undemocratic. He actually said in his words, you want me to stop the violence that you helped create. Really taking it to President Trump, some of his vitriolic, caustic rhetoric the president has been using and describing not only officials here in Portland.
Yeah, if I go there, they'll take up me on beat.
This is going on. As I mentioned, the president seemed to be watching and live tweeting it, actually saying to the mayor a number of disparaging things, but saying that basically you haven't seen anything yet when it comes to the federal forces here in this city. Of course, that was a point of controversy for weeks here as the president sent in federal officers to try to protect this courthouse. You had so many protesters and rioters and looters coming out saying that it's their increased presence that is fueling their agitation.
What will he get though?
But nevertheless, you know, you hear the president saying that you know, obviously threatening perhaps to send more forces here. One thing that Mayor Wheeler did that we have not heard from the president is the mayor was saying that he wants to reset. He wants to obviously see peace in his city.
But anyway,
local officials have
like I said,
for how the police departments handle things, for how federal officials have handled things. But you really have the mayor here saying that he wants to.
I'm not saying it's hairstyle though. I'm not saying it's hairstyle to make it look like somebody a naked every pale.
Protesters and some of the rioters, we saw hundreds of pro-Trump supporters amassed outside of Portland and driving to downtown in a caravan that leading to violence.
I think I'm saying it's hairstyle making that somebody else.
Between some of the other demonstrators, police officers telling us that they made a number of arrests over the night following these encounters.
This is a real one-game series.
No, I'm not saying it's hairstyle making it like somebody else. Or naked every pair.
To set up the basket. Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
There will be other people that are coming into the city seeking retribution for that person's death. The mayor and the police chief saying, look, you know, to those members of the public, press pause. This investigation is still underway. We don't yet have the details. But obviously it's been a massive rollout. We see that social media continues to incite a lot of violence, with a lot of fear and anger, especially here in this city. Again, we have a president now who's feeling that violence. This morning, there was violence. President Trump saying that it wasn't unexpected what what's happening here because of his words, lack of leadership here by the city. I asked the mayor to respond to that. The president saying that this violence was inevitable. The mayor said, yeah, it was inevitable because of his words. The president continues to stoke fear and violence. So just a chaotic situation here will probably continue tonight and into the foreseeable future, again, as this anger just continues to build.
There are a lot of people on edge wondering what the next move is. Please stand by. I want to reset for our viewers on what transpired in just the past hour or so, and really bring you up to speed on what happened in the last 24 hours in the wake of the nation's racial reckoning and outcry against police brutality. President Trump has said Democratic leaders are responsible for allowing protests and violence to fester in America's streets. Now, Portland's mayor, who Trump has called a fool, wasn't having any of it today.
Whoa, he got up there.
Yesterday's events began with hundreds of cars filled with supporters of the president, rallying in Clackamas County and then driving through downtown Portland. They were supported and energized by the president himself. President Trump, for 4 years, denied political fear in the racist attacks on black police. He was concerned about their sexist attitudes towards women. In fact, he enjoyed clips that he mentioned as they say that he's been listening to a political Democratic and journalists. He regularly tweets scammers, private citizens, and receiving death threats. And he listens to attacks on immigrants. He listens to illegal refugees, We've heard you say that John McCain wasn't a hero because he was a prisoner of war. And now you're attacking Democratic mayors and the very institutions of democracy that have served this nation well since its founding. Do you seriously wonder, Mr. President, why this is the first time in decades that America has seen this level of violence? It's you who have created the hate and the division. It's you who have not found a way to say the names of black people killed by police officers, even as people in law enforcement have. And it's you who claim that white supremacists are good people. Your campaign of fear is as anti-democratic as anything you've done to create hate and hatred in our beautiful country. You've tried to divide us more than any other figure in modern history. And now you want to stop the violence that you have created. What America needs is for you to stop.
The Bolsonaro there directly calling the president racist, justice, calling the president it's you who has created the hate and division you're seeing in our streets. Last night, it's been now more than 90 consecutive nights of protesters in Portland taking the streets calling for an end to police brutality after the period of British rule and rumors claiming to a racial reckoning, portraying themselves as the only thing standing between order and chaos, claiming that violence in America will not stay. Just this afternoon, presidential candidate Joe Biden released a statement unequivocally condemning the violence, regardless of whether it was committed by the right or the left, and he challenged the president to do the same. I want to bring in CNN law enforcement analyst and former Philadelphia Police Commissioner Charles Ramsey. Also with us, former Boston Police Commissioner Ed Davis, White House correspondent for American Urban Radio Network, April Ryan, and former presidential advisor to 4 U.S. presidents, David Morgan, our Josh Campbell, who was acting president, who's also standing by for us. April Ryan, I'm going to start with you. I want your reaction first to what we're seeing in Portland and what we heard from you. And let's call a thing a thing. This president, Donald Trump, has instigated a police war in America. Portland, Oregon is ground zero. This president, Donald John Trump, has basically stoked the flames for racist extremists, neo-Nazis, and the alt-right. I mean, even defending, even defending 17-year-olds who didn't respond to protest. So at the end of the day, absolutely right. And there are those who are calling for help from this president and the stoking of a race war. There is a race war in America right now because of this president. People are calling me asking if there indeed is a way to get the international Frankfurt to come in to deal with this. You know, I've talked to some people who are in intelligence. They're saying he's done heinous things, but they have to see. We don't know for sure. But people are now afraid of this president because he has stoked the racial flames. And let's call the thing a thing. He has now begun a race war in America in 2020.
Commissioner Ramsey, let me ask you, do you feel as strongly as April? Is a race war playing out?
Has a chance.
Well, first of all, I don't want to get into politics. I'm here to talk about the policing part of it. I think everybody needs to calm things down a bit. This is dangerous. And I don't know if people realize just how dangerous it really is. Listen, wherever you stand on the political spectrum, left, right, wherever, it doesn't matter. Okay, you have a right to peacefully protest. When you add heated rhetoric and you add rhetoric, absolutely nothing good comes from that. And this is going to get worse before it gets better unless people start toning it down a little bit and dealing with the issues that we have in front of us. There are a lot of issues affecting us in society. We're not going to fix them by throwing bombs. That's just not going to happen. And as far as the police go, I mean, they're right in the middle of it right now. And I really feel for that chief. I was listening to him as he was talking. I mean, I've been there quite in the same position as him now. But these things are very, very difficult to handle. It's almost impossible to keep these groups apart from one another. And the more we talk about these things in extreme terms, the more likely it is we're going to have more violence take place on the streets. And it's not going to just be limited to
here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offense.
I don't think we have a race war underway now, but unless we're careful, we're heading in that direction. Listen, I hope the players see what's different now. I'm sure of that. I think here's the big on the city. He wants to get a resolution. The first thing was, as you said, there's been an escalation in the rhetoric. Yes, and he came in and said we need to de-escalate. And I immediately escalated. It went after the president in very harsh terms, very personal, very unhonorable. And he has a good case. But if you're going to try to find peace and healing, you need to be able to sit down with each other too. He has made himself, it's impossible now for a lot of Republicans to work with someone like this, or trying to find a healing. But the second thing which startled me was, he has the resources, and after some of these 90 days of all this stuff going on, he still doesn't have the resources. There's something wrong with that picture. I mean, how do we know that there won't be another shooting tonight? They don't have enough police there. And I do think it reinforces, for better or for worse, him working with the mayor working out with the governor, the National Guard, or some larger presence, to bring us in. You cannot negotiate peace. You're shooting each other on the field.
Commissioner Davis, I want to ask you, what is the role of the police?
I look at the legs, the strength of his
Well, I agree with what Secretary Davis said. I think that this is a remarkable point in time. The Vice President, presidential candidate Biden, made a statement today that we must not let our country become involved in a race war. So we are at the precipice here of something very serious. And if I was sitting in this position in Portland, I'd be concerned about the next 24 hours. I understand the mayor's frustration, but this was not the time to make those statements. This is a time to assure the public that there were plans in place. And the response to the question about what plans you have tonight was that we're going to get together later on today. I could not believe that when I heard it. We're talking about a very practical tactics that's necessary to pull resources together and to strongly stop the violence that's occurring. And I didn't hear that. It's frightening.
Josh Campbell, you've been back and forth in Portland over the course of the past 3 months. This is taking place right now. Josh, what do you feel like this week?
Well, we're looking towards tonight, I should say. All indications is that it has the potential to be very violent. And I just want to foot stomp something that the former commissioner just said, which once we heard that in that press conference, a lot of eyebrows were raised whenever we asked the law enforcement official there what the plan is for tonight. He said, well, I'm going to go meet with my people and then we're going to figure out what the plan is. As former commissioner said, I mean, we're here now seeing this cycle of violence over and over and over. And so that is obviously raising a lot of eyebrows. Well, what is the plan? There's also this question about whether or not to bring in the National Guard. The request, the mayor said has gone up to the governor, that was twice denied. The question came, well, what other resources are you looking for? And that still seems to be something that they're trying to wrap their arms around. As that happens, you see, as we saw last night, something that wasn't necessarily part of these past incidents, where you not only have one side of rioters against law enforcement, you now have an entire different segment of counter-demonstrators, the post-Trump group, that are also in this mix that's totally volatile. And so the idea that, you know, the police don't have a plan that they want to share right now, again, raises a lot of eyebrows. And to be sure, the police did say that oftentimes they don't know where these pockets of violence will pop up around the city, so it's hard to determine in advance where you're going to search these resources. But that is, I think, a fair criticism that we're hearing from people here, is that, you know, what is the plan for law enforcement? I will say, to the previous point about the mayor, one thing that, you know, people have been asking is, well, when we have a president of the United States, the most powerful person in the world, and all this is happening under his watch, how is any elected leader to respond when the president isn't condemning the violence that's occurred overnight? He's pouring gasoline on the fire by saying that, look, this, you know, wasn't unexpected because of this pattern of violence that we continue to see. And so when we heard Mayor Wheeler just moments ago, he was
okay, we got to catch up. They can be ridiculous.
And say, look, you know, this is you're to blame for this. There's still being a lot of violence, but also saying that addressing the different factions within.
I take it over, goddammit.
So when you see these guys smile, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the past. That's one of the great things we have in this country.
How do you stop this violence when we now have different groups that are coming to this location, to this downtown area, and engaging in those groups that have violence?
And ISO basketball is becoming a thing of the past. Team basketball is back. And if you have that personnel with the versatility plus the mindset, game over.
2 days ago, April, and we know President Trump decided to kind of show on Tuesday. What do you expect the reaction to be, especially considering the National Guard said, now is not the time for him to visit?
You know, you wonder, is this to once again rally the president on base, especially in wasted office space? You know, I've talked to NAACP, leaders of the NAACP, who using two words, they're disturbed and very concerned about all this. And this president, going back to what David said, this president is not a president who is unified. He's not going to offer something story to bring people together. And at the same time, he's defending Kyle Rittenhouse, who's 17-year-old, who came to an open carry state. You had to be 18 to open carry. He comes at 17 from Illinois and kills two black people, or kills two people, excuse me, and then seriously hurts someone else. So,
like I said, I'm taking over the motherfucking game. No.
And his last week saying the only way to stop the violence in the high crime province is through strength of those working force. Today, we'll be right back at your seat. Stand by. I want to head to the White House as we're breaking news.
Wide open look, won't go. Bring it up. His guys down 3.
Sister, one imposter. I know that type. Many tales of the great Mulan.
45, motherfucker. 45 to 46. I taking over, motherfucker.
Apps are used everywhere except work. Why is that?
Oh, hell no. MB? Oh, hell no. No. That was a motherfucker about the motherfucker. Okay, y'all want to play like that motherfucker shit. We can play like the motherfucker shit. Okay. No. I don't want to see that bullshit. Go on, make your shot, MB. Hope you fucking make it. Why the fuck you talking about the game for, Coach? Y'all want to win the motherfucking game. Come on now.
Those are the types of shots you always strive for. Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched the epidemic of passing.
What are you talking about old shit for?
Like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise. If that's an epidemic, sign me up.
Damn it!
Scores from the coast. You've heard it before.
The fuck, guy? Come on, I get him out. Yeah. Keep packing me the motherfucking bomb. They need to get good and fast, but no, I got the motherfucking bomb. I'll make damn sure of that. You can't fucking fight this motherfucking MBI hole. Come on, guy. Are you fucking kidding me? I can fight that motherfucker. Here. About damn time.
Probing the defense.
No. That's not gonna happen.
His team up by 1.
Oh shit. One gotta go. What? Get it. There you go.
Looking to make something happen. Gets it to go. Could have been more.
Okay.
But no foul. And not every pass needs to be a home run pass or a thread the needle. Sometimes an easy.
You feel my ball catch? Wait.
Simple pass can make the game simple. The more simplistic the game is, the more efficient you'll be as a winner. Harris to Allen.
I know.
Gotta get that one to go.
I thought you fixed my ball catch.
Off the assist. I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it. To Tobias Harris. Here comes your screen. Richardson.
Nope.
Yes. And the foul. And a chance.
Still got the lead.
Coming up. The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball, but sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there. Kyrie Flynn at the line for a chance of a three-point play. He struggled so far.
Want to talk about the wife I told you about?
The free throw's good. It's a three-point play, and the lead.
I got look at it. I ain't forgot about it.
That's right. The Portland Mariners certainly did not miss any work.
He plays through it and scores.
Happening in the United States of
Some players out there like the freedom of space, and then we have the environment. We have the players also feel comfortable being uncomfortable. And almost the physicality of the game cinches him and puts him right out of bounds every time. Intentional foul. He meant it. In the 80s, that might have been a personal, but regardless, it has.
In some of these cities, and the president quickly responded to
injected a little life into your squad just when they needed it. Now shot and intentional foul.
and say that some users would like to blatantly and federal government to kneel, but he hasn't seen anything yet. We've only been there with a small group to defend our U.S. court counts because he couldn't do it. But people of Portland, Nepal, other cities and parts of our great country want law and order. And then he goes on to say that the radical left Democrat mayor, an academic dummy running Portland, or even speak, will never be able to do it. And we also heard Ted Wheeler actually come out and respond to a president. It was as if they were having a conversation via the television. Listen to how Ted Wheeler responded.
It's classic Trump. Mr. President, how can you make a comment like that if you're watching this? Isn't any way possible? It's an aggressive stance, speaking out for others. I certainly reached out to everyone and I sound familiar. You need to do your part, and I need to do my part, and we both need to do our part.
And at the same time, you also got under your opponent's skin. Just want to manage through the emotions here and not take it too far.
Move this country forward.
Of course, as it relates to Portland, on the one hand, he's criticizing the president, blaming him for the hate and division in the country, and on the other hand, saying that he was a victim. The president, for his part, has scholars point out that he has offered to send federal assistance to Portland, something that Ted Wheeler has refused. Of course, the president is truly using this as part of his campaign strategy, using this as part of his message of law and order, which he is carrying into the 2020 presidential campaign.
Distance and approach.
Jeremy Garland from the White House saying, it's you who has created the hate, so that is the difference maker.
It throws a defender off because now he's got no mercy and he's off balance. And it just may be, Jay, the biggest threat late in the shot clock. Especially if you add a hesitation to the move or if you look at the rim, and most times how the defender jumping out and shoots. Which defenders own best in this game defending that. From long range, carries it on the catch and shoot. Just because someone is listening to you doesn't mean that they actually hear you. At the end of the game, when players get tired, they listen to what the assignment was, but they didn't hear what it was. And an intentional foul here in the closing moments, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference in what is now a two-score game. Ed, what's that old saying? Ruffled feathers do not fly together. Well, actually, I just made that up. But what it means is that play will cause a little havoc. As designed, the team that uses it to galvanize as a unit will have the advantage.
She always wanted her well shot. Now she needs to not let them go.
They're moving on. Next up, the Eastern Conference Finals.
Therapy. It's a better life. Walmart, Target, and other home stores. Experience Boost has helped millions of people. How can it help you?
Oh my gosh, 6 months. That's great.
You know why I'm not looking at Netflix right now, Wayway? You know why I'm not on Netflix right now?
Download the Experience now.
Because pretty soon it's gonna be time for the Walking to come on. A pay-per-view. Walking. So that's why I'm not on no Netflix right now. Say what? Tonight. Yeah, Payback. No, pretty took the time for my show. So that's why I'm not on Netflix right now.
Lysol laundry sanitizer kills 99.9% bacteria. Turn it alone. Yeah, Lysol. What it takes to protect. That's an ancient identity of use of preserve and wrong here.
How do you preserve your culture in a country full of misconceptions about who you are?
It's not a country of extremist people because they want to maintain their culture. At the same time, they want to be seen as assimilated as part of this country.
We don't have to be in a second box.
Your since the beginning in Milton County every
And all new United Sheets of America with W. Kamau Bell at a special time tonight at 9 on CNN.
$9.95 at my age?
$9.95.
No way. $9.95? That's impossible.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, the manager here at Colonial Life Insurance Company, to tell you it is possible. If you're aged 50 to 85, you can get life insurance with options starting at just $9.95.
Oh, what you said about time car course is gonna buy.
95 cents a month. For Colonial
Oh, what you said?
#1 popular whole life insurance.
It's about time when you call Tony and say he's gonna buy.
Your acceptance is guaranteed. And with this plan, your rate is locked in. What? Free information. You'll also get this free.
What are you talking about?
It's our way of saying thank you, just for calling. So call now.
Call 1-800-574-0588 for free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-574-0588. Call now.
I'm Frank Blanket in Minsk, Belarus, and this is CNN.
Closed captioning brought to you by Mesobook.com.
Mesothelioma is all we do. For over 10 years, we have offered a free book on mesothelioma. Call 1-800-400-2802.
Yesterday's events began with hundreds of cars filled with supporters of the president, rallying in Clackamas County and then driving through downtown Portland. They were supported and energized by the president himself. You've tried to divide us more than any other figure in modern history. And now you want me to stop the violence that you helped create. What America needs is for you to be stopped.
We're back now with our breaking news, and joining us again is CNN law enforcement analyst and former Philadelphia Police Commissioner Charles Ramsey, as well as White House correspondent for American Public Radio Network, April Ryan, and former presidential advisor to 4 U.S. presidents, both Democratic and Republican, David Gergen. So, David, Democrats say the president isn't just using this violence now to his advantage, but that he's actually agitating it. Do you agree?
I think he's certainly advocating. He's certainly explaining. Whether he's openly advocating, I think it's just a touch too far. But I think he's doing a lot of things that are objectionable and inappropriate.
Commissioner Ramsey, the president says now the National Guard needs to move into Portland. He continues to reiterate that that's the only thing that will stop this violence. The mayor has refused. Is the National Guard needed?
Well, I mean, that's going to get to them to decide what resources they need, but they better do something because they obviously do not have sufficient resources available to them. And in light of what happened last night, personally, I would use whatever resources I had at my disposal. And if that included the National Guard, so be it. Be a National Guard, state police, maybe MOU even from a neighboring state or jurisdiction. They've got to tamp this thing down. It's not going to resolve itself. And I think it starts by having a strong presence on the street to keep people calm, at least keep them separated best you can, so you don't have this kind of violent interaction that we saw before.
April, despite Trump currently being president, Republicans keep aligning this violence with Joe Biden, saying no one will be safe in his America. Are those attacks working?
You know, I just saw something on Twitter from Don Jr. trying to say this is a Biden riot, which is not the truth. His father said and continues to take a ton of parity on a burning flame, and it keeps growing and growing. At the end of the day, and I'm going to we need to go back to basics. It may not be political for some, but let's go to the basics. What is racism? Racism is when power and prejudice meet at the intersection, and we're at that intersection now. And the question is, what will those who have been able for president do to stop this moment in history from getting worse, with the anticipation of this violence getting worse? 1, we need to hear from Mitch McConnell. 2, we need to hear from Lindsey Graham. 3, we need to hear from Tim Scott. To find out what is going on with them and their conversations with the president to make the president stop. We are now entering into an election in the midst of a coronavirus pandemic. It's too much going on. It's too much going on. And it's for this president. And I've covered, I'm not like...
I'm finna talk to Broadcast about time my show.
I've covered 4 presidents over the last 23 years. I've never seen anything like this. Normally, there's a soaring speech to bring unity. That pushes addicts worse.